Let's do this. Get ready for the Dirt Life Show.
Yeah. Welcome to Monday night, episode 92 of the Dirt Life Show. We really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We had already started on Instagram Live. We're a little late because of some technical difficulties, and we really appreciate our featured guest, Toby Price, being so flexible on talking with us here. It's awesome to be able to have him join us. I will do the proper introduction. We have to my left, I've already said it once on Instagram, but we have my buddy Big Joe Weining over here. He's part of Toby Price's Red Bull Motorsports and Toby Price Motorsports Trophy Truck Racing program down in Australia. And to my far left, we've got co-host extraordinaire Casey Peck. We're back in Arizona having a little bit of fun. So we really appreciate both of you guys joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I really apologize for the technical difficulties. And thank you very much, Toby Price, for joining us. Toby is a multi-time motorcycle champion. He's a Dakar champion, or Dakar is how you say it, right? Yeah. And on a motorcycle. And, man, he's done so much racing, and he's been such a high level for so long. And now you guys are dipping in or helping him achieve his goals in a trophy truck, man. So it's really cool to welcome Toby Price to the show. So sorry for the second introduction, Toby, but thank you very much for joining us, man.
That's no dramas, mate. It's we can talk helicopter from Mars, but we just have troubles trying to communicate in this world. But all good. We're stoked. Everything's all going well, and we're busy in the shop trying to get things sorted here. Ready to get back overseas, hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. Looks like we're trying to get Mark on as well. So let's see if we can get him to join us over here too. It'll be cool to talk with all you guys because it's a pretty big effort to be able to go trophy truck racing, right?
There he is.
There he is. Mark, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Okay, man. Did I miss it?
No, we're on. How are you?
Good to see you all.
How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
really well. We're getting ready for the next race meeting.
Dude, I'm so pissed off at this internet. Like, I just don't get it. I don't even know what. Maybe we should restart the Instagram Live. Like, I don't know what we should do. Like, because I really want Toby to be able to sit, like us to be able to see him and stuff. Hey, would you guys mind if we restarted this thing? I don't know what else to do with this internet connection. Is that going to be unprofessional of me to ask you guys to do that?
All good.
no,
All right. I'm going to kill it real quick, and then we'll join you guys back in, okay? So I'm just going to log out and log back in. All right, boys?
listen.
So, Mark is he's the crew chief for the Red Bull Ampol Super 8
sweet.
V8 car championship deal.
Is he part of that?
Dude, no, he was part of this program this time around.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still live over here on Facebook and stuff. So
Cool. We weren't even sure if I could get over there.
What's up, guys? Hopefully Toby and everybody will start joining us again. So sorry for all the technical difficulties. It never, ever fails. You have everything prepared, and all of a sudden it just takes a big old fat dump on you. Yeah, so that's the whole thing, right? You
get 4 flat tires and you only have 3 spares.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it works, right? So we'll let everybody log back in again. I really appreciate those guys being flexible with us, man, because I feel like such an unprofessional jerk when that stuff happens. You know what I mean? It just sucks. But it is what it is.
Yep.
So you know what? Actually, I take that back because we're talking to off-road racers here. They know all of the stuff that happens. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're being flexible with us because
that's the thing, George. We think we know all the stuff that happens, but there's always something that comes up that.
yeah, exactly.
Just think about piecing and parting a trophy truck together over the last C19 year. Like, how many times did you come up with this exact situation? Like, oh, we don't make that anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%, right?
We'll make something.
Yeah.
There he is. All right, we can
Forrest.
see him, man. The man, the myth, the legend, right there. We're gonna get Mark over here on as well, Toby. So it looks like we might have a little bit better connection now. So we were just talking. I was talking to Joe, and I was saying I feel like an unprofessional asshole because the internet and stuff is not working. But I go, wait a minute here. We're talking to off-road guys. They already know shit happens.
Yeah, that happens every day in life in off-road world. So, I just got to make one wrong note on my GPS there, and we all complete shit show. So I wouldn't stress, mate. It's all good.
Totally.
Well, we really appreciate it. And maybe since I don't know Mark as well as you,
fly.
maybe you can give a little bit of intro for letting our audience know who Mark is.
Yeah. Joining with us today is Mark Dutton. Mark is the crew chief for the Red Bull Ampol V8 supercar team over there. It's a 2-car team. Top of their game. He's top of his game. Really, really good guy. He came, him and one of his mates, Nick, had came with us to assist us in the Tats Fink race.
Oh, really? Hey, Mark, do you have your cell phone? Maybe you can turn it down, or if there's another audio that's coming in, because it sounds like we got an echo coming from your phone. There we go. Sounds like it's
just
better
turn it
now.
down there.
Perfect.
There you go.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
Awesome.
Can you hear us still?
Perfect.
But
Yeah,
Mark,
still gotcha.
Mark and Nick
Yeah.
had came in to assist us with this race, and man, just a huge help. And it was a lot of fun because they come from circuit racing,
Right.
on their
I'm just going to throw it out there. That V8
Different.
supercar stuff is so badass.
dude, that's impressive. And
Way different focus.
and
Right.
spending a week and a half with Mark and Nick. They're searching for hundredths of seconds.
Right. And you're just like, hit the bump faster.
Yeah, you just turn the screw up. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's they're so regulated
Yeah. That's
that
awesome.
it's and Mark was just blown away at how open we are to you can do whatever you want.
Right.
It's desert, you know what I mean? So,
you desert racing guys are retarded. Like, what are you guys doing out here?
So if I have to guess, he started digging into like, all right, what can we do that's like solid data that we can look at?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I bet. That's
Exactly.
awesome.
Hey,
Love
Toby,
it.
maybe you can actually expand on that a little bit. So when you have those two worlds come together or match up, how does that affect the program? Because I feel like that would elevate it so big.
Yeah, 100%. Having Dutto and Nick come over on board this year was, just another thing we could bring to the table that would elevate the sport here in Australia. And, it was like I say, Mark and Dutto and the V8 supercar team, they're trying to find like 1/10 of a second everywhere around the track. And we're just basically going, well, we just need to hit bumps faster, and we need to add more weight to the car to try and get the car to
my
settle
kind of guy.
while they're trying to take weight out of the car. So it's just it's two different worlds. But does table just the engineering side and looking over everything and just looking at data and figuring things out was just a massive big key to the whole situation. And then Nick, basically, he's worked for Formula One race teams. He's worked for World Rally Championship. He's now in with basically the best team in Australia for V8 supercars. And he basically gave him a job, and you didn't have to stress or worry about it. So it was an awesome mix. And then Joe, basically with his 15, 20 odd years experience in off-road, pretty much the best people in our corner to make my job quite easy. So it was all a big team effort, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. First of all, that's a massive compliment for everybody that's on the call, for
Absolutely.
Mark, for Joe, and for me to be friends with Joe and Casey be friends with Joe. That's super cool to see. But before we ask you how it feels, maybe Mark can give us a little bit of an insight on coming from the road world, getting into the dirt, man. That's got to be pretty intense.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty lucky, I thought, and fortunate to be given the opportunity. So, thanks again to Toby and the crew. But all the same principles apply. You've got highly engineered and developed weapons. Machine was amazing just the technology in it, the engineering. You could see the attention to detail in every nut and bolt and every fastener and panel, etc. So a lot more overlaps than I think people can first think. Same with Joe, with the experience of a few shock or damper adjustments to make it handle better and differently. So that all applies. Reliability, making sure that you're dotting your I's, crossing the T's, all those cliches. You throw them all out there, but they're super critical because competition was so fierce out there. I think there was 160 different trucks and buggies and that entered. So it wasn't a one-horse race. So obviously Toby and the crew wanted to come at it from every angle they could. And Joe and myself and Nick and the whole crew and Toby and that, when we were just making sure, all the prep work had been done by Joe and Toby and that, preparing the truck. But then when you're running it and there's little obstacles that you're coming up against, I think sometimes it's just helpful to have different eyes and different brains to bounce ideas off. I'm sure Joe would have done the exact same stuff that he did so well without me there, so I can't take any credit. But I really enjoyed working with Joe and Toby and that, and when we were faced with a question or a hiccup or something, we all wanted to make sure that we left nothing to chance. Everything was looked at, everything was put to bed. When that truck was going to hit the track, everything that we could do was done. So there was no, I wish we had have looked at that a bit better, or maybe we could have addressed that in a different way. There was none of that. So when you're putting your best foot forward like that with a group of amazing professionals, with as I said, Toby, Joe, Nick, the whole team, Toby's dad John, and all of them, it was so good to work with people, and everyone wanted the same outcome. We were all there to win. We had fun along the way, but there was don't be fooled by Toby's easygoing nature, mate. He's a fierce competitor, and he wanted to win more than anyone out there. So I think there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, it's super cool to hear that, man. So two of the things that I heard, first of all, was Toby's father helps out.
Oh, big time.
And how much fun you guys had. And that's the reason that the Dirt Life Show exists, right, is because we're so stoked on off-road. Like, we grew up in the dirt.
Yep.
We didn't even have paved roads, like, it's very similar to some of the stuff that Toby did when he was growing up. Like, maybe you can kind of give us a little bit of a background on how it feels to have this organization helping you and all this team, Toby, these professionals and the new trophy truck. Like, everything is coming together in, like, it was like a dream. Now it's reality.
Yeah, for sure. Like, for me, it's I stand on top of the podium at the end of the day, and people just look at me, but there's a massive big team of people behind me that make it all a reality for me. So without everyone that's in my corner, these things just wouldn't be possible. So to try and run this program, it's a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time to develop and try and get things sorted and in place and where it needs to be, and run as professional as I can do it. So it is a family-based bit of a team. My dad here works in the shop with me and does a lot of all the fabrication work and bits and pieces, and he's quite switched on with everything as well. So it's Mum basically brings me down lunch every day so I can be in the workshop and doing things and out training and doing what I need to do. And so it's go Mum, she kills it. So it's like I say, it's just it's a big family environment that what I've kind of brought together. But then it's also it's a business, and we need to make sure we do the job and we win races, and that's why we bring basically Joe, Dutto, and Nick to the table. That basically make sure that truck is 100% perfect and ready to go racing once it hits the track. So we need to make sure it's a strong, well presented team, and look after my sponsors. So it's but it's a hell of a lot of fun. We enjoy it. We love getting in the dirt and getting dirty.
Hey, so talking about sponsors, Dutto's over there. He like literally just did like a sly like Red Bull chug right there. So he's got a he's got a lockdown, man. You got the whole team doing it.
Mate, I tried to turn it so it was outside the camera.
We got it, man. Hey, big old fat sponsor plug right there.
Nah.
Good job, Mark. Yeah, so
We got the hat there, yeah.
hey, so we got all these laughs and everybody's having a good time, right? But Joe, maybe you could tell us a little bit about how it was going from the United States, because most of our listeners are in the United States, going all the way over to Australia and hanging out with these awesome dudes.
Yeah, it's become, this is my third trip over there, and it's become a second family. They are just true, just good people. Just good
I think you can
people,
tell
know
right
what
now,
I mean?
like,
It's
what you see is what you get, I think. That's the feel I get. I don't think these guys are putting on a play. I think this is really them. So
Not at
I'm
all.
sure you fit right in. And
that's also how you know they're smart motherfuckers, though, too, is because they know exactly what they're talking about and they can have a good time and still get the job done, right?
Yeah, no, they're just from the first time I went over there in 2019. Welcome, open arms, welcome whatever you need, and it is a family. The whole Toby Price Motorsports team is family oriented, and like I say, mom's there, dad's there. You know what I mean? And it's just,
making delicious sandwiches.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's and that makes it so much easier because there's a great ambiance to it.
Sure.
And there's still work to be done, and there's still pressure. You know what I mean, for sure.
The coolest thing for me, I've known Joe forever. We were little kids riding around dirt bikes and whatever, but like. It's easy for me to think that Joe would be at this level, but think about throw the best guys in the world and throw their names into a bowl that you pick to build this truck and be the guy that
maintains it and everything.
Every bolt has to be perfect. I'm sure Toby's right here with me, but that's the name that gets pulled out. To me, I'm so pumped for that.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
It's obviously these guys know, and it's no offense to anybody else who does this, but this is just a little town, that
where we grew up.
Yeah, dirt life and dirt road and dirt bikes, and Joe takes a path that gets him doing these race cars and supporting these people to get them at a high level, and I'm just like I almost have shivers thinking about it.
That's such a good.
You flew around the other side of the world. You were walking upside down from where I'm. And then like I said, you kind of throw the proverbial keys at the man, and he goes out. Obviously, there's way more to it. But,
that's a good subject to bring up, dude. It's the same thing with those guys too. Because Toby grew up in the dirt, you know what I mean? These guys did the same thing. It's so badass, man. It literally makes me want to keep this smile on my face for weeks and weeks because I'm so fired up about it.
And maybe for him, he was like, "It's Big Joe, of course." Right? That's what I say, but
no, it just boils down to hard work.
Well,
Hard
there's
work
no
and
lack of that,
dedication, and like I say, Toby and I developed a friendship. You know what I mean? And now I've met Mark, and we've developed a friendship. You know what I mean? And then it's just a good deal.
Hey, so let's move forward into the next subject. First of all, COVID just jacked everything up, right? But getting all the things lined up. You got the trophy truck, you got everything ready, and the Fink race is coming up. So, Toby, you be the first person to tell us, how nervous are you, or how ready are you, excited, whatever the emotions that you're feeling, how is it getting the car there and you're just dude, next level, let's go.
It was super exciting for me. So to have a brand new trophy truck in my hands, and the one I built and kind of came up with all the parts that I wanted to put into this truck, it was super, super tempting to take it out on the street and just rip it up the road. But I was like, I just don't want to get this thing confiscated off me. The police aren't so lenient here in Australia. So I had to hold back a little bit until I got it in the dirt. But that first day in Alice Springs in the Red Centre, I was jittery. I just didn't even know what to think or what to say of how well this truck came together and how it felt and how it drove around the track. So, we had a little teething issue at the start. We, Dutto and Joe got onto a power steering temperature issue. We weren't it wasn't going through the roof, but it was just something that they wanted to maintain and just drop the heat out of the power steering a little bit. But the truck ran flawless straight up on its first test in the dirt, and it's not too often that you get a brand new race car and really have no big issues with it. So yeah, super stoked on the car, and TSCO did a great job. And to release a new body with the only one of the Mitsubishi Tritons in the world was a pretty cool week. I'd love to go back to it, but I don't want to go back to all that stress and those sleepless nights of trying to get the thing here. But it was cool. So it handled and exceeded my expectations by a lot.
So actually going back before that, the truck was on a boat from LA to Sydney, and then it was supposed to go from Sydney back onto a boat around to Brisbane, and we were supposed to receive it in Brisbane. Well, got into Sydney, and we wouldn't intercepted it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we went because it was going to take another week and a half to go around to get to Brisbane, and it was only a 9-hour drive. So
you went and got it and just...
John, Toby's father, myself, and Toby jumped in the car. And
that's 2 extra days. 2 extra days, 48 hours means so much more to the prep.
Oh, man, yeah. No, like I say, we intercepted it there at Sydney, and we were able to get the truck, out of the loading docks, and everything was good. And
that's a good call.
We gained a week.
Yeah, it's in the country. You're like, I want it.
Yep.
Mark, when did you start seeing the truck or being a part of the program?
Yeah, so a few months before it turned up, Toby and the crew, asked if we'd do it, and I waited for my boss to give me the go ahead before I jumped out of my seat and told him, just so I could keep being paid and keep the job, not just straight away. But no, I saw it for the first time.
It looks like maybe the internet connection's going a little bit.
So a week before the race, I think it was effectively. So it was, there wasn't a lot of time to digest what was happening before it was all go.
Yeah, and so that means that those 2 days were that much more important when you intercepted it. Hey, let's switch gears a little real quick because I forgot what his name was, 432 Derelique or something like that. He asked, how do you get into rally? And I actually would like to see if maybe Toby could do it answer that question from a racer standpoint, and then maybe we'll have Mark answer it from a guy behind the scenes. So we could get both sides of the story. So how would I go about getting into rally if I wanted to, Toby?
It's just basically starting out small. Get yourself into a car or a vehicle or a motorcycle, and then basically go and start doing some of the smaller events, start getting some experience and just gaining that momentum of what the sport brings. And then, you got to then start trying to follow and chase the more of the national and then kind of worldwide scene of racing. So hopefully along the way, you can pick up some local support and some sponsors that would help you, try and fulfill and chase your dream. And then you've just got to keep building it, and then it becomes basically like a business that you need to market yourself correctly and right, and basically then the results, hopefully you start getting the results, and that's where it gets that little bit easier. But then the pressure comes once you start getting the results. You need to stay at the front as well. So it's a tough world, but it's definitely doable, that's for sure.
Mark, how about you? What do you think from being behind the scenes?
Commitment that you have to show. I think a lot of people probably don't realise that. It's your life. You live it. You're not. You don't turn up to work to go racing. You're a racer. So it's your weekends, it's your nights. You're missing friends' weddings and parties and this and that. The commitment that you have to show, whether you're driving or behind the scenes, working as part of the crew. It's a lifestyle. It's what you have to adopt. And Toby nailed all the details. You've got to market yourself. You've got to be quick. And I think what shows through in Toby is if you are all those things and you're enjoying it, well, then you have more fan appeal. You're a more saleable product, so that first and foremost, you need to have the pace, you need to have the speed. But for sure, being able to work in a team environment is definitely needed. You see that with Joe and Toby and all the crew, that when you got all these people together from different sides of the world or different disciplines, the professionals will always be able to work together, because they've got to that point in their career that they've had to do the hard yards. They know how to work with different people. They know how to learn off people. You don't roll in thinking that you know everything. That's for damn sure. It's constantly learning. So if you're trying to drive in a rally car or you're on the track, looking at the different ways to step up, as Toby said, with some of the starting small and working through it. An example for on the track side for the supercars is, a lot of people will start in go-karts and then move forward, and then there's quite often different development feeder series that you can step up into, and then they can lead into trying to make it into the big game.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I took away two really distinct understandings of what both of them said. First is hard work. Sure. And second is making sure that you're willing to learn. I guess three points. But I think the best thing is if I'm going to go do it, I'm just going to go ask a team if I can help them out, because that's going to give me the ability to learn from that team and to be able to make my own decisions going above and beyond there. And then who knows, maybe you won't like it, maybe you'll love it. Who knows what the deal is. But okay, we got a lot of comments and stuff coming in, so keep them rolling in, guys, but make sure your questions are really focused. We're going to talk about the Fink race. That's the main reason we got Toby on, so I think we should dip into that and make sure your comments are relative to the Fink race. Toby, having this new program, all of the stuff is like untested or whatever you want to call it. You get out there, you're at the starting line. What are you thinking, man?
Look, yeah, for sure. It was nerve-wracking. Like I say, I'd only got about probably 50 or 60 kilometres testing in a new truck that I wasn't familiar with, and then I'm expected to go out there in prologue and put the thing at the top and give it basically 100%. You go that 101%, and you can end in tears before the race weekend even starts. So yeah, it's tough. Like, you've got all these people in your corner, you've done all the homework you could possibly do to arrive at the race ready, but then it comes down to me, and if I stuff up, the last straw ends up in my hand, and it's all because of me. So there was definitely some pressure there with being a brand new truck. It wasn't quite proven. I hadn't really put it in some bumps at a really high speed. And, but yeah, look, like everybody that's involved with it, with TSCO and Fox and SDG and Joe Dutto, everyone basically worked extremely well together. And we got the package pretty much nearly nailed out right from the start. And, the thing performed well in prologue. It gripped, it turned, it did everything I wanted it to do. And that's the second year of my first. And it's pretty cool to get a truck up on top. So, because the Class 1 buggies over here are quite quick. They've got a lot of horsepower and a smaller car, and the tracks aren't beat up and rough like America. So it's we do have some big bumps and sections, but in the prologue, it's quite smooth. So you've got to be really on your game and trying to make it work.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be super cool. We had a couple questions come in that are a little bit related. You've won Fink on a dirt bike before, and you've done the double before as well. But now you were focusing on the trophy truck program. What were the differences in the bike and the trophy truck?
Look, honestly, it's only just adding 2 more wheels and a lot more horsepower, really. Everything I kind of do on the motorcycle is the same lines and the same mentality of thinking. Like, the motorcycle, you're out in the element, you're going to get hurt if things go wrong. Whereas the trophy truck, you can kind of you're sitting there and you can put your foot to the floor. It's going to be, it'll end in tears if it goes wrong, but the safety barrier, like you're 10 times safer. knowing that you're not 10 foot tall and bulletproof in one of these things, and understanding that the truck it can go wrong, but just trying to apply basically the same racecraft as what you do on a motorcycle to the car, and we're able to adapt pretty quickly, so it's not too bad.
Did you pass any of your buddies that were racing their motorcycles and just be like, yeah, peace out, I'm in a truck now?
I had some of the boys that I raced with the KTM team. They came over and looked at the truck and was just like, "Damn, how do you get into this world?" And I said, basically, sell your house, sell your car, sell everything you've got, and then you'll end up in one of the things. But it's at the end of the day, for me, I just love racing, and I'll sleep in a tent if I have to. I'm not too stressed. I'll pack up and I'll sleep inside the truck. So. I just love going flat out, love going fast, and that's what I enjoy the most. So, I'll try and do it while I can. And at the moment, it's a good opportunity to jump into trophy trucks and play on the weekends I've got free. I probably should be resting and getting the body back into not being so sore, but we enjoy going racing, so I'll do it while I can.
Hey, Kay, so I think you'll probably be on board with this.
Can you put a camper on it?
Oh, on the camper on the back of the trophy truck, sleep in the back. I think you'll be on board with this.
On the roof and just pop there.
You see those safari dudes doing that all the time down there, right?
Yeah, the overlanding trophy truck. Oh, great. So, Case, I think you'll be on board with this as wondering. Everybody on this, everybody that's in the comments would love to get in the passenger seat with Toby in a trophy truck, right? Like you would, I would, everybody that's there would. Well, Joe and Mark, I think you said Mark got to do it as well, right?
Yeah, Mark rode on the first day, yep.
Actually, let's let Mark answer first. How was that, dude? Like getting in a passenger seat with one of the best drivers and riders in the world, I mean, that's got to feel fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. It did feel fantastic, and it's a different mindset when you're getting in to do a job, I feel.
Yeah.
If you were getting in just for a joyride, your heart rate would be through the roof. You know, you wouldn't stop laughing and smiling and and holding your breath on the jump sort of thing. But when you're getting in and you're, especially for me with the lack of experience, I was just trying to focus on looking at the maps, looking at all the vital signs on the dash from the Motec dash with all the info coming through. At one stage in the section, I had to remind myself to sort of look out the front, look out the window, not just keep yourself busy doing what I thought was the role. Because as I said, being a rookie and an amateur in it, there's definitely, I had a lot to learn. The best thing about getting in with someone like Toby, as you said, with a world champion, is you can just have that total trust. There was never a moment of fear. There was never a moment where you thought, oh shit, something's going to go wrong, or you were nervous. There was no nerves for safety at all. You're in an awesomely built truck. You're there with your driver who's piloting it, who you've got total faith in. Different story if you were getting in with someone that you didn't have faith in. But that what made it so enjoyable, and it was amazing. All the different across the race event, the fans that would come, and they all think Toby's a bit loose, and they're all like, "Man, you're crazy getting in with Toby." And I'm like, "So if you were asked to get in, you'd say no?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, no, man, I'd jump in, sort of thing. So it was pretty funny, the amount of people who thought I was crazy. But when I put the question, would they jump in? I think they were ready to knock me out and put my helmet on and pretend to be me just to get the opportunity to hop in.
Yeah, and I think it's a little different for you, right, Joe? Because you have a little bit more experience sitting in the passenger seat than maybe Mark does in a trophy truck, because he's used to the road world.
Yeah.
What was it like for you?
No, it's like he said. It's a mindset. You get in there and you're there to do a job, and you're to provide the best notes that you can provide to Toby, so he knows the best. Just basically put a plan together between the two of you to get the best outcome. And like you said, complete confidence is key. It's huge. I've ridden with a lot of guys racing. I've been doing this 15, almost 20 years now. And there's been some drivers that just just scare you. Just because of their actions and stuff like that. Riding with Toby, I've been with Toby quite a few times, and Toby's real fluid and smooth, and you don't really feel like you're going fast until you look out and you start seeing stuff go by. You're like, wow, we're really moving. But the confidence is there. You have confidence in your driver, and you're doing your job, and you don't think about it, to be honest with you.
So we just had a comment come through, and I know it's a kid. It's Charlie Semler. He said, can Toby give us one tip for riding? I think he's got a YZ85 or KTM 85 or something. You got one riding tip for him, bud?
Dan.
Look at in the
Mate,
back.
riding tip wise, yeah. Got them people in the back with photo bombing, so that's the boys from next door. But yeah, mate, like it's honestly just get out and ride and practice and start with the basics of just going to find like one corner and practice one corner over and over again and just try and make it super efficient. Don't try and go for outright speed straight away. Just get the technique right and dialed first, and then basically start to try and add a little bit of speed every time you keep going through. So it takes a lot of time, but just make sure you've got all the right gear and equipment on, and get out there and ride and practice as much as you possibly can. That's the biggest tip you can get, and main thing of all as well is just enjoy it and have fun while doing it.
Yeah, I think that's the best advice you can get, man. And just get out there and ride if it's a YZ85, get out there and ride as much as you can, man. Just go have some fun, dude. Yeah. It'd be really cool. All right, so we want to talk about you winning the race. And, man, so how'd the truck perform when you were out there, dude? Because it looks like in some of those pictures and some of the media that we've seen on social media, it looked like that thing was ripping, dude.
Yeah, look, the truck was really ripping, and like I say, it blew my expectations out of the water of what I thought the truck would do. And the run down with Dutto, obviously I didn't really do my job well enough. I didn't scare him or nothing, so he did exceptionally well, and he called all the notes perfect the whole way down and monitored everything unreal. So we had a really good clean run down. So we did 230 kilometers in an hour and 39 minutes. So that's a new record to get down there as well. So Dutto's got a record for his name out there. So it was cool. Unfortunately on the way home we did have a little bit of a hiccup. Something was just wasn't so happy. About the 100 kilometer mark back to the finish. So we had 100 kilometers to go. We just had a fair few spikes in the water temperature. So that's why I've got the engine sitting just out over there at the moment. We're going to diagnose what's going on with that. Joe did an amazing job monitoring that and just keeping an eye on the biggest part was the oil temperature, and that was all going extremely well, but just having that little bit of a drama on the way home. But it was still a good, super clean run. We got the guys that were in second that caught us. And then basically I just said to Joe, hold your finger on the clear button. We're going to make the finish line in first, or we're going to be sitting on the side of the track. Like we just can't, I can't do this again. So, let's hook in and get back on it. And surprisingly enough, the truck actually, started to do a lot better once you started pushing the truck and moving again. So, it's a bit of a weird mix. So we've got some things to try and diagnose, and but other than that, it was no better feeling to cross that finish line first. It's taken five attempts, so it was just overwhelming to get that across the finish line first for the first time. So it's been cool.
Dude, I would have loved to hear the radio communications where you guys just woo, got it, nailed it.
I know, I want to know, is there ever a point where Joe's like, come on, Toby, send it? No. I have a feeling he's already sending it. It's already stamped.
No, to be honest with you, because of our water temperature issue we were having, it was pins and needles.
Could you imagine how stressed out Joe is in the passenger? He's like, no, come on.
Your mind probably starts playing games. I think it moved. No, it didn't.
There there was no really celebration till the last 20 meters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Just
that,
right
it
when
was,
you were getting there?
It was that bad because, like I say, it was.
You're like, if it's heavy, we're not gonna roll.
Yeah, the water temp was going to 270.
Whoa!
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was real scary, but all we had to do, and of course, with the first part of the race on the second day was good. We had a lot of dust. It was real dry and we had a lot of dust, so it was not that big of a deal. Then water temp starts spiking and doing different things, and at the same time, the ground starts changing color, and they got rain. It's perfect dirt, unless you're leading a desert race. It was wet, and look in the mirror, look in the rear, in the camera in the back, not an ounce of dust at all.
Really?
And here we are, babying this thing, and we're like, oh no.
Does that like it's two-wheel drive, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like it's binding it up, like it's getting good traction. But okay, it's not like that's not.
Oh, it's like
any
that
heat.
whole like when you get like your dirt bike on chocolate cake and you're just like ripped. Like does it feel like that?
It was perfect, other than we had an engine problem.
Oh man.
And we didn't have any dust.
And you're like, he could just be to the floor, darn it. Oh,
so he was.
I gotcha.
He was coming. We knew he was coming, so we kept watching and watching,
Gotcha.
and then we could see him coming, and just like Toby said, it's either checkers or wreckers. So
Love it.
we hammered down, and
What does he say? Hold on to your shorts, Joe. We're going.
No, I think he said the exact same thing. We're gonna win, or we're gonna blow this thing up.
Dude.
And I ended up just leaving the water temperature alone and watching the oil temperature.
Oh, good call.
And oil temperature was doing what it was supposed to do, and I said, let's just go. And we made it.
Dude, that's so sweet. All right, so the drama and stress kind of leaves you guys. You cross the finish line. What's because everybody's hearing on the team, everybody's stoked. Like, what's the next thing that happens? Everybody's just pumped, and you guys get to celebrate on the podium. Why don't you answer, Joe, since the internet's bogging out a little bit?
No, like I say, we were able to come across the finish. At the finish, the track doubles back, and we turn the corner, and we could see the second place guy coming in.
Oh, really?
That we had just were battling with. So it was pretty close at the end, but yeah, no, it was great, man. Champagne and
so how big of a lead did you guys have before you started babying?
5 minutes.
Holy crap! So I'm doing the math here, and I'm like, so that guy ran a good pace, obviously.
Yeah.
But you had 5 minutes on him.
Yep.
Right.
And you guys still won the race, and it was like a time that was like.
Yeah, no,
a record time.
So it could have been 5 minutes, or what you may have made up, but it could have, would have, should have. That's racing, right?
Yeah.
But wow, how awesome is that? Like you guys were getting it.
That's so crazy.
We were, and that truck works so. And like Toby said, the harder you push it, the better it worked. It was like wow, it was like Mark was saying. You start giggling and laughing because it's you're seeing stuff that's just not computing, and you just float right across it.
That's so crazy.
Awesome. So cool.
I could only imagine how good that feels. It looks like the internet's having a little bit of issues. If Toby, if you and Mark can hear us, you guys are more than welcome to log off, and then log back in. I don't know if it's our connection or if it's your guys' connection. It's probably ours. We'll blame it on us over here. One of the things that I wanted to talk about a little bit more was that the international off-road stuff is growing so much bigger, right? We got a follow-up question to the international off-road stuff, but the international off-road stuff is growing big, man. It's pretty sweet, right?
Dude, it's huge. It's getting really big. I have a really good friend. His son, Austin, is racing Can-Ams. He's a factory Can-Am racer for
Austin Jones?
Austin Jones, yeah. He's won 2 rallies this year, and they're over in Russia doing the Silkway rally right now, a big 10-day rally. It's killing it. And, yeah, like I say, the whole off-road worldwide is going big.
Is that, good. Joe, to back you up, so that rally, is that, it's not like a rally car race. It's like a desert race, but point to point to point to point kind of thing? Okay.
Correct,
So you get there, do your thing for the night or the day or the whatever, and then go again?
Correct. They're all staged events.
Staged, okay, there you go. Perfect.
And like I say, the Silkway Rally is pretty much a sister rally to the Dakar Rally.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 10-day deal. It goes all the way down into from Russia all the way down into Mongolia.
Oh, wow.
And it goes through several different countries.
That's pretty gnarly.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
It seems like it would be pretty cool to do that thing.
And that's all vehicles, everything?
Yeah.
Semis, you name it.
The big, the big Iveco trucks.
Yeah, those are cool.
And like I said, a company called South Racing has put together this Can-Am deal for him, and he's killing it. He's killing it this year. He's doing really good. Really proud of him.
That's awesome.
Hopefully, we'll be able to get Mark and Toby back on here in just a little bit. I don't know. The Wi-Fi just, I don't know what to do.
And even the WRC rally stuff we say it's getting big. It might have always been big. It's just now that the media is so much more involved.
Sure, that makes
that
sense.
it's more
Right.
that it's more viewable for us. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, a lot of
but
times
it's-
that's what it takes.
You know, yeah. No,
You didn't
it's-
even know it. You're like, what?
Yeah, and it's top game stuff over there. They know
I'm sure.
the Europeans and you know, not everybody.
it's pretty
There
rad
was-
that it's that big, though, right?
Yeah, no, and like I say, it's probably been that big the whole time. We've just never been subject to it because the media,
Yeah.
we didn't have the coverage like they do now.
I've always heard supercars were big over there. Like,
Dude, it's-
remember, actually, that what brings you to it is like, oh, Tiger Woods is caddy forever or whatever. That's what he did. Like, he stopped, and that was his hobby on the side. And I guess those guys are probably laughing at me, but like for me, I was like, what does that mean? And then you look into it a little bit, and you're like, oh, actually, okay, that's like the real deal, just different.
It is.
But if not, maybe even more focused.
Yeah, it is. It's never been, you know, backstage at a NASCAR event or a Formula or IndyCar, anything of that sort. But I had the chance to be with Mark and a couple of their guys on the Red Bull Ampol team back behind the scenes
That would.
at the races and
I
stuff.
bet you
and
just
it's
had
like,
a field day.
oh, it's dude, it's intense.
Well, and it
And like I
changes.
say, and they're looking for that hundredths of a second.
Oh, totally.
The stuff that he's talking about doing, I'm like,
Sure.
are you? But they're doing it, and they're, you know, running first, second, and you know,
I would bet
on the
though
podium
that
all the time.
being that it's that eye-opening for you, it probably then translates into something that you can focus. Like you can now kind of throw that at what you're doing. I'm sure.
Yeah, no,
Maybe
it's
not
like
to
saying
the
it's-
same degree, but the mindset is the same.
for sure. And that's when, like, say with Mark and Nick coming aboard for this race, it was an honor to be able to work with those guys because they're at the top of the game. I mean,
So
the way
cool.
top of the game,
Right.
and they have a different mindset. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, say, so often, you know, in motor or any kind of type of motorsports, you're in it for so long, you just kind of
Right.
got that mindset. And no, this is the way you do it.
Yeah, and you've already thrown other things out because we tried
Yeah.
that 20 years ago. It didn't work. So.
Yeah.
And now the new eyes, like you say, are like,
Correct.
how
you
come
know.
you're not doing this with your tires? Or how
Yeah.
come? Yeah, I could. I could.
That's so cool,
I
though.
could
Like
see
the combination of all that stuff makes such a cool difference. So, like, I feel like
Definitely.
that's such an awesome way to look at things.
Yeah,
Sure.
no, it was an honor to have them on with us and doing that stuff. But
so cool that it was at what I'm taking from Mark. It was just pretty eye-opening for him too. So like for him, it was probably like almost like a blank slate. Like there's already some things that are set, but I bet for him, he's already got like things that they're talking about. I'm sure there
Oh,
has
yeah.
to be.
yeah,
How cool is that?
no, there is, and that's the thing is you got to keep up in the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you can't just in any type of racing, motorsport racing,
Right.
you can't just we won this year. We're not going to do anything for next year.
We're good. Just put it in the garage. We'll good next year.
Because
There's so many people that sleep on that, though. Like, oh, we won a championship. We're going to be fast next year. It never works like that, though.
no, it doesn't. It's like you say,
There's always somebody working harder. Is what
oh, yeah,
happens
yep.
with that
Nope,
different mindset.
and,
maybe.
But it was really nice bringing a new product into the
Oh yeah.
Australian off-road
Sure.
and proving to everybody that these new products are badass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
And no failures. Like you
Well,
guys,
exactly
like you
that.
said, you guys proved, dude. That thing. So sidebar, obviously all that work behind the scenes to like make a machine work, but like it looks so rad.
yeah,
It's
no, I'd say
different.
that
It like
the Mitsubishi had stepped forward with the design of the body,
yeah.
and Toby had got it with Fiberworks over in California.
Okay.
And it went through Mitsubishi Japan and Australia and all around and round and round. And finally, they got a design for the body, and Toby has the molds, you know, and all
Awesome.
that. And it's just
Well, I'm sure I
It's
don't.
cool because it's so different.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure I don't speak just for myself on that one, but I will just speak for myself. But when I saw it, I was like, what in the... And then I looked at it for a minute and was like, this thing is so
Insane cool, right?
mind-blowing just because it's so different.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, can you turn down your volume a little bit and then give us your answer on how you felt that the new trophy truck looked?
You got me there, boys?
There you go.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mate, the new trophy truck looked amazing. Like the angular design of all the lines. It just, mate, to me it looked like a stealth bomber. It just looked badass. Loved it.
Yeah, it did. I think it looks so cool. The coolest part about it is I don't know if you guys did that in any of the V8 supercar stuff, but like it's next level, right? The evolution of everything is next level, and to see that be released in a different country than the United States, I mean, like, and something that's I don't want to say trophy trucks are rare outside of the United States, but they're not the same, right? They're a lot smaller of an industry. Like, to me, that makes me so happy because it means that the off-road internationally is growing to be so big.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And I mean, the fact that you got a major manufacturer like Mitsubishi getting on board, putting their engineers and designers to work on a foreign project like this, where they're clearly they don't make trophy trucks to sell on the car line. So the passion that they had to get behind that, I mean, that's a credit to them and a credit to Toby and his crew and Joe and that for getting it across the line. That's no small feat to get that from an OEM manufacturer to want to step up and do that. That's a huge effort. So, and for it to look so amazing just reflected how keen they were on the project. And we were actually talking about it during the Fink event that, you imagine all of those engineers and everyone behind it in Japan, obviously would have been watching with all the updates and just been totally across the Fink race. So that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, man. Like,
it says a lot to a Japanese manufacturer too. Like, they don't mess around in any side of manufacturing in that country. Like that, it's very honorable, and not that we're not either, but it's
the culture's
it's
different.
It's total different. So like for them, like you said, from start to finish to then bring that across, I bet they're just doing somersaults, and they're probably just as happy as you guys are.
During the trophy truck reveal there in the Gold Coast in the studio there was two engineers from Mitsubishi Japan, and nobody had seen it. Nobody had seen the truck at all. And we had a big black silk cover over it, you know what I mean? And we did it proper. We revealed it in high fashion, and it was cool to see the manufacturer of Mitsubishi.
Dude, when I saw it, like the first pictures I saw, I thought I was at New York Fashion Week. It was so pro. I was like, dude, it's fully white. Like, everything's perfect. Looks so good.
So at this point, you'd already seen it, right?
Yeah, I had it all together in the States.
Obviously. Okay, so when that's coming off, though, are you, like, looking at their reaction? Like that?
No, we want to know if he's leaking pictures to Yesenia, his wife. That's what we want to know.
No, my only concern on when they're revealing was not to trip and fall down and look like a fool in front of everybody.
Nice. That's cool.
That would have been funny. Way to go, American. Bite the dust on your photo shoot.
But no, the reveal was special because it is, for Toby, it's a whole brand new truck. It's a whole new level of racing for all of us.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And
definitely.
It was done proper. It was cool.
Hey, Toby, have you ever done a reveal that was that elevated or that big before? Or just the trophy truck was the first one? I'm not even using the same Wi-Fi now. I'm using a totally different one. So I don't know what to tell everybody. Can you hear us, Toby? Man, this whole international Instagram live is. Yeah, we're getting the same over here, man. It's not working that good either. I don't know what to tell you, boys. I'm not sure if we should keep wasting your guys' time. You guys are really, really, it means a lot to me that you guys are doing our show, and it's just a little show in the United States out in Arizona, and we really appreciate it. And I don't want to ruin the chance to get you guys back on the show, so I don't want to waste your guys' time. If it gets a little bit better in the next minute or so here, we'll keep asking questions. If it doesn't, we're just going to let you guys go and kind of continue on with Joe here, if that's cool. So what did you think of the reveal, Toby?
You.
Yeah, man, it's not working too good, I don't think. What do you guys think? Should we let him
We
go?
lost him again.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's us. Maybe I don't know. Can you hear us good, Mark? It sounds like it might
Thanks
be
for
us.
having us, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Right when they bail out, it gets good. Well, thank you guys so much. Really
We'll see ya.
appreciate Mark Dutton and Toby Price for coming on. You guys are legends, man. We can't wait to see what's next, boys.
Mate, hopefully when the borders open, we hope to see you over here.
That would be amazing, yeah. So thank you guys very much. We'll see you guys later. So peace out. Thank you.
Perfect.
No worries.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for everyone for
guys.
tuning in. Appreciate it. Unreal.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So we really appreciate those guys coming on. We had a couple more questions for him. Unfortunately, technology didn't give us the benefit of the doubt today. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have him do another Instagram live one of these days too, and just kind of get things ironed out a little bit more. But
I'd like to get their feel on that, on his take, like we were talking about international racing.
Well, let's ask Joe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, Joe,
So
current state of racing, statewide and international, we were kind of talking about it a little bit. It seems to be blowing up, and I think some of your point was that maybe we're not exposed to a certain amount of it, and then all of a sudden when you are, maybe it's covered, or all of a sudden it actually gets it gets in the limelight like it's supposed to. Now you're like exposed to something you didn't know before, and I know that blows it up. But at the same time, I think maybe it brings, two sides of the earth together, racing as well. I mean, what's your take on that? Did it feel the same where you were? I mean, was still guys doing everything they can?
Dude, it's the all I can speak of is the off-road camaraderie. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
say everybody, we were just to start off with. It's a 3-day trip from the Gold Coast there at the shop to the center of Australia, in Alice Springs, where the race is.
Okay.
On
3 days.
Yeah, on day 2, the semi-truck had we stopped at the rest area, and it.
I'm building a picture in my brain. Are you driving on the wrong side of the road?
Oh yeah, on the wrong side of the car, wrong side of the road.
Honestly, am I?
But anyhow, we stopped and we had lunch. You know what I mean? And did the 2 of the drivers that were with us were commercial drivers.
Okay.
So on the logbook and all that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We go to leave our little rest area, our little lunch stop, and the truck wouldn't go into gear. The semi truck wouldn't go into gear.
No way.
And we messed with it. Anyhow, with long story short, it ended up breaking the finger for the clutch actuator. But within 2 hours, there was a company about 90 miles down the road, dropped what they were doing, sent 2 semi-trucks our direction. One was to hook onto the semi-trailer. The other one was to load the semi-truck, go back to their place, their shop, and instantly tore into it and started fixing it.
No
that's
way.
that's pretty badass.
Yeah. it
And
is.
like I say, the whole being at the race and all that stuff, you're friends with everybody. You know,
Right.
everybody, hey, what do you need? You know, and we had a guy, Bo Robinson, asked if we had a spare gearbox. So yeah, we have a spare gearbox. You know what I mean? And
It's ours.
he said, well, we're supposed to be getting ours, but it hasn't showed up yet, and na. You know, if it would have came down to it, here you go. Here's a brand new spare gearbox.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Does the answer change if it's before qualifying?
Yeah, probably.
Of course it does.
But
I think
yeah,
what
it's just so everybody's just it's just awesome. And of course, you put your helmets on, and
it's all business.
it's go time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like I say, I think it's just the and like you're saying on the international level, I think it's always been there, but we just haven't had the media coverage on it.
Sure.
And
Well, yeah, but now it's like elevated though. Like
it seems like it is. Yeah.
it seems like it's getting way bigger. I mean, the fact that well, you're right. I mean, like Toby's bringing it to fruition, at least in Australia, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like there's anybody in England that's like promoting it or doing anything. Like, so I think it's just getting a lot bigger overall. You know what I mean? Like, there's more trophy trucks in the United States now than there used to be. There's more side-by-sides that are elevating it. And so my follow-up question to what Casey was asking was, I really think, generally speaking, that side-by-sides are pushing even the higher level stuff through the roof because it's all coming to fruition from those.
Yeah.
Starting from the ground up kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a progression.
Yeah.
If I'm hearing it. Like you start with wherever you start, and then you're this, and then you're that, and then ultimately you're like, hey, that's the F1 of off-road. I want to get in a trophy truck.
Yeah.
You know, and the side-by-side market has gotten you into an entry-level position, but it's a highly competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, there was 60-some UTVs entered at Fink Race.
60 UTVs.
Yeah.
That's insane, man.
Insane
That's almost
amount of.
that's
and
That's a bunch.
that's almost
fast.
American numbers.
yeah, no, it's huge. It's getting to be really big over there, and
And just think, 2 or 3 years ago, it wasn't like that though.
Nope.
So that's
Nope.
what I mean, man. That's pretty cool.
just to give you a heads up, two years ago in 2019,
2 rhinos.
Toby and
Just kidding.
Toby and I we were pre-running Fink in his Can-Am, and there was probably 2 or 3 other guys that were doing the same.
Really?
This year, dude, there was
Everybody?
20, 30, 40 of them.
There you go, man.
Pre-run it, you know what I mean? And it's great, but like I say, the sport has gone good, and like I say, COVID hurt everybody for a little while, but man, this year opened up and record numbers. San Felipe this year was huge. Baja 500 was huge.
It is massive.
It sounds like a reset of like old school
It is, yeah.
back when
yeah.
Jeff's trucks were lining up brand new trucks.
Yeah, exactly. Like the whatever Casey Mears and all that stuff. Like everybody's coming on.
Yeah.
Hey Joe, if you see any of these people like MP Calpin or anybody, like if any of those guys are the guys that you talk to or work with down there, let me know so we can get them on to join us or whatever. So I really think it's super cool. Like I wish that Toby and those guys, we could still have them on. Maybe it is the international connection. I don't know, but whatever the case, because it really is crazy to me to think about how different it is. Like Joe, you know from doing it that like going over there and seeing the difference in off-road racing, because you're coming from the United States, you've grown up here, you've done everything, and you go over there and see it. I don't know that. I only know what the United States is. And so now me seeing stuff like this from a personal standpoint with you and other things, like Casey said, the whole smile thing, like it brings a smile to my face because we're happy for you. But
Thank you.
I'm like real happy on the whole level. Like,
Yeah.
because that opportunity wouldn't have come had side-by-sides not existed and grown the industry.
Yeah.
So like all of this stuff is one big funnel.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It is. And it's same thing over there in Australia. I mean, they got record numbers of competitors, and they're fierce. Every one of them are there to win.
Yeah.
And the equipment is top of the game. You know what I mean? And it's cool. They have. Everybody asks, "Oh, how's Fink and this and that?" I'm like, you got to go
Yeah.
because it's not what it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
You know
It
what I
probably
mean?
is way
Okay.
different than what is on social media.
Yeah, it's huge.
Hey,
It's
so MP
huge.
Calpin, let us know before we invite you onto the feed if you got a question or something so that we could see if the question is good for the show. So we had a couple more things to talk about. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was a little bit more. The Dirt Life show always tries to get behind the scenes so that you guys can understand who the people are. I really wish Toby was on more because I wanted to ask him some questions about his life and the things that he's been through. But since we still have Joe here, Joe did a show with us. Dude, it's probably been 6-8 months now,
Been a
maybe
while.
even more.
Yep.
But we got a little bit of an understanding of the stuff that you grew up doing. But now, since you're having the opportunity to work with Toby, you've broke away from being you're more of a consultant, an off-road consultant, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you have JTech Motorsports now.
Yeah.
And so you're actually able to help people with their own products and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, I started my own business here in just a year and a half ago, and same thing, fabrication and racing and prepping, and I kind of dipped into the side-by-side industry as well, and have a couple cars that I'm prepping that race and
Awesome.
the desert, and it's good. It's been, like I say, it's been really good. It's fun being able to share your experience with people and
Oh,
your
yeah.
knowledge, and
Definitely.
like you're always learning something.
Yeah, you have
Always
to.
learning something.
Totally.
So I have a client that's got his 6100 race truck in the shop right now, and undergoing a whole bunch of different items to it, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it, and with that, I think the outcome is good. And fortunately, he chose me to do the work, so that's good.
It's awesome.
It's pretty cool. And I know that you got a couple other things that we're going to talk about maybe in the next couple weeks here,
Yeah.
a couple other opportunities that are going to be pretty cool. That's pretty sweet, man. I'm glad to see that stuff happen. Like Casey said at the, kind of the beginning of the show. It's just cool to see one of our friends succeed at something that he's passionate about.
Yeah, I can see. I had.
Well, you kind of
No.
did bust your ass for 15, 20 years,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, there's no easy way around it, but to
Yeah,
see
but
all the
it's-
hard work, it's awesome.
how's your leg feeling, Case? You want to take a commercial break?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's just. I don't know. I just love what I do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the end result is just that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just taken me places. Never, ever would have dreamed of being halfway across the world racing desert
No kidding.
in the dirt. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like you say, I had met Toby through an ex-employer of mine, Jesse Jones, and Jesse just opened up doors left and right. I mean,
Well, you
got to
obviously
know
you
so
obviously
many
did him a
people.
good job. We know who you are. You don't
Well, yeah.
you don't leave any bridges burning when you walk away. So
Joe and I have had this conversation so many times. Like every single person nowadays looks at the watch at 4:59 and is like, "Okay, time to go home. I got to hang out." Joe's like, "Nope, the job's not done, man."
yeah, totally.
And that's the way he's lived his whole life.
absolutely, totally.
Hey, so Joe, we got a couple comments coming in, and it kind of goes back to what you were talking about before. ACG 158 says Toby's a huge inspiration here in Australia. From growing up locally in the motocross scene, watching him switch over to off-road racing, he's a legend. And to see him overcome a lot of his injuries, like that's the same thing that we're talking about, though, man. It's like all the same. Like the dirt life gives you so much more ability to be able to push through life and to be able to be the person that you want to be. And Toby's doing that just like, I mean, he's a good role model for everybody down
Yeah,
there.
Toby does not give up. He ain't broken shoulder, and just broke shoulder, carpal tunnel in both hands, and he's still out there in the shed every day. And he puts in the work.
Is that what they call them there? Shops down there? They call them sheds?
Yeah. They
I like it.
People don't see what all is involved in it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And Toby's genuine, dude. He's good, and he's not afraid. Like I say, he was welding aluminum. And 2019, when I was over there prepping the truck for Fink, he had never touched a welder in his life.
Nice. That's a pretty
And-
big step.
And I was welding some tabs on the truck, and I could feel him looking over my shoulder.
Nice.
And he said, "Let me have a go at that." I'm like, "Yeah, here you go." And
Awesome.
just like that, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And completely burned. I mean, smoked himself. He looked like a lobster. But it's that mentality.
Sure.
He's not scared to jump in to do.
Yeah. Hands-on guy for sure.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure, and
That's
he gets
cool.
the job done, and like I say, he's an inspiration to me,
Yeah,
just
100%.
because he does not stop. God, he doesn't stop. He just keeps going.
I
You know
love
what
hearing
mean?
like how Mark and him were both talking back and forth. Like everybody says he's got a loose personality, and so but you can see the professionalism. I mean, you don't
Yeah.
get to that level without the professionalism,
Right.
right? But to surround yourself with good people and to understand that, like, it really gets me fired up as just an off-road enthusiast to be able to understand that people are actually going out there living their dreams, putting in the hard work. I mean, God knows what, a week before the race, Toby only slept like maybe 1 or 2 days. Like he
no,
was just up there just kicking ass, taking names, doing everything, man. It's cool. Let me interrupt our conversation a little bit because some of the people on the show may have not heard. We're at upr.com today, so go check them out. There, Jeff and his staff here at upr.com. Thank you, first of all, Jeff, and thank you, Tim, for letting us do the show here. It's pretty awesome to be able to hang out, especially on their day off.
Yeah.
The second thing I wanted to say that we didn't get to say at the beginning of the episode was Happy Independence Day, everybody. And do you guys know what the real reason why we celebrate July 4th is?
Mm-hmm. The real reason?
No, well, I'm just going to ask both of you guys because I know that you know, but you don't have to answer. I want everybody else to answer. Like they can send us a DM, they can slide into our website and answer. But you guys can all answer, and if you guys can tell us the real reason that we celebrate Independence Day or July 4th. I kind of gave away the answer too, but
the technical real reason, or the reason everybody thinks.
Well, it has something to do with the signature and different
and not
things.
The barbecue.
Yeah, and not the bathing suits, barbecue, and flag holding and stuff. But the real reason it is, and you can win some stickers. We'll send you guys a whole bunch of stickers if you do, and it doesn't matter how many people submit it. If you get the answer right, we'll send you a whole bunch of stickers. So. I just think it's a good thing to do. Like, I want to feel like the teacher in class. Like, if you get it right, then you get a treat, because I saw so many people on social media that didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
You get a green card?
Yeah, exactly.
Get it right. Green card, get it right.
Exactly. So give us your answers and tell us why. And then we'll send you some stickers. We want to talk about the Fink race. And then also, we have a sponsor deals page on the website now. So you can go to thedirtlifeshow.com and click on those deals. You can get codes. You can get affiliate links. You can get everything. We got the guys over at KMC. They're sponsoring the show. They're getting something ready, so we're going to put it on the sponsor deals page. The guys at EFX Tires, they're also doing the same thing. Right now, you can go over there and you can learn how to get sponsored. Alex Stryler's doing a whole webinar series that he's talking to all these people. So, in fact, if you want to get sponsored by, let's just say, I don't know, one of the guys that Toby has, ARB
not that one.
Yeah, not that one. ARB or somebody. He's got he's had VP on, he's had Coca-Cola, he's had all kinds of awesome people, and they give you this straight answer. This is what we need to get you sponsored. So you can go over there and check it out and get on their website. And
awesome.
So it's thedirtlifeshow.com, and there's a sponsors deals. You can also get on there. Shock Therapy's got a discount code on there for you. So thank you to those guys. The guys over at Zollinger Racing Products have a deal on there. And we also want to thank just our normal sponsors too, Cryo Heat and Solder Weld too. So Solder Weld's got a discount code as well. So thank you to all those guys for supporting the Dirt Life Show, and we want you guys to support them too. So like I said, go over to the sponsor deals page on the dirtlifeshow.com and check it out.
Did you see the sweet
the hat that you got on, you mean?
No, the Solder Weld has this freaking farmer hat.
Oh, to protect from the sun?
It's like a big giant roofer hat. It's the coolest thing ever.
Really?
By the way.
Yeah, the Jack Miller. That'd be a good one to get on too.
Yeah, that would be. Hey, so see, MP Calpin.
Yeah.
It's America's birthday. So that's not the full technical reason though.
So
I'll take it. We'll take the answer though.
So what day was it actually signed?
That I don't know. I was just pissed off because they didn't know what they were talking about. They were just like, yeah, big old lake day. Let's go out. Hamburger, hot
barbecue
dogs.
day.
Yeah. But it's funny, though, because in America, we have a day for everything. There's a taco day. There's a hot dog day. There's even a national pickle day. Do you know that?
There's cookies and donut as well.
It's ridiculous.
My daughters don't forget those ones.
Oh, heck no. But
donut day would be pretty good, though. Which donuts are they going for? Cream-filled ones or glazed, or where are they at?
They're pretty specific. Well, they'll take any donut, but if they're allowed to go wherever, donut wheel.
Joshua Howe mentioned that. Joe, you come over to Australia full time. There's been a lot of conversation about it.
What about those big spiders?
Never saw one. Never saw one. Saw a bunch of kangaroos.
Okay, good.
Camels.
Dude, that would be pretty crazy for you to do that, huh?
Yeah, there's been a lot of conversation about it.
And with the family, too?
Yeah, the family's pretty keen on it. They seem to be interested in doing it, and it's a great opportunity. So, like I say,
How cool would that be?
Yeah, it's just a big step.
Oh,
really
absolutely.
big step, you know what I mean? But
have you ever taken any small steps?
Well, fortunately enough, all the small stuff has got me where I am. You know what I mean?
I'm
but
kidding.
yeah, no, it's
Hey, isn't that what we used to say on the show? You got to eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe's doing it, man. Good job, man.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Killing it. Okay, so yeah, and then I always forget to say my name, so I'm Georgie Hamill, by the way. This is my buddy Joe Weining, and then like I always say every time, co-host extraordinaire Casey Peck. So the only one thing that I wanted to talk about now was if Toby didn't win the Fink race, I think personally, in my opinion, all of the stuff that he did leading up to it, the release of the truck, the content that he delivered to everybody with the truck, like going through being able to do little stuff like us on our janky little podcast and talk with us about things and how you guys were going to the race and having you over there and all of these different things, in my opinion, that's a massive success no matter how you look at it. Even if you guys hadn't crossed the finish line or whatever happened at the race, I mean, that's icing on the cake, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's just, like you say, that is just icing on the cake.
Right. Everything else was so awesome. He got everybody, like a dude like me, a dude sitting on their couch, a little kid, he got everybody so amped up to see him in that freaking truck, dude.
Yeah, no, there was so many vendors that had come aboard this project, and we owed it to them to do a proper reveal.
Oh,
Sure.
100%,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And we did that, and which I feel we did, a great job on that. And then it came down to putting the helmets on and getting the business
Yep.
and
Right.
doing what we were actually here to do.
Which part had more pressure? Sorry to interrupt.
Gee, the truck never seen dirt. And here we are out in the middle of Australia. There's, there's I've become pretty good buddies with Andrew. He owns a hydraulic shop there in Alice Springs. But there's no, you know what I mean? The truck's never seen dirt. And here we are. We stuck it in the dirt, and I'm nervous as you can only imagine. You know what I mean? We only got a week till the race.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Shitting
everybody's
bricks.
put 100% of their effort into it to get us where we are. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And like I said, we had this power steering temperature issue, and freaking Dutton and Nick and myself worked halfway through the night, got a cooler on it, and did some things to it. Went out the next morning, tested again, and then I was like, okay, now let's get some seat time in it. Give Toby some seat time in it, get him comfortable in it. You know what I mean? And the same thing with Mark, put him in it and let him get a feel for it. And but like I say, the pressure really never comes off. The time the pressure came off was about 20 meters from the finish line.
Yeah, like you said.
When it was like, okay, this thing could blow up right now and scatter itself, and we would still roll across the finish line.
Casey, when you hear these things though, like that like we put a cooler on. Joe makes it sound like it's no big deal, right? But he wouldn't have known that.
I can see it.
You know, like all of that stuff
night,
is.
Well, and this goes back to what we were talking about.
But the
before.
knowledge to know to do that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Right.
And Andrew over there at the hydraulic shop was like, "Hey, I have a cooler. It's on my daughter's race car. It'll work perfect for you." I'm like, "Well, no, it's on your daughter's race car.
Right.
We're racing in 4 days.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
No, she's not racing." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to take your daughter's race car apart so we can make her." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. And finally, he starts getting tools and doing it himself.
I'm doing it. Whatever you say.
You know what I mean? And
that's already awesome.
Dropped what he was doing, running his hydraulic business.
Awesome.
To get us this part, you know what I mean? And
actually, it made all the difference, it sounds
the
like.
fittings to do it, and just whatever you need, just ask me. You know what I mean? And
that's why you're talking about camaraderie.
Man, awesome. You know what I mean? And just for him to step forward and to help us with that, just huge, really huge. And
it is super cool. Joe, I don't know if it's bad service. I think it's probably our stream. We've been having issues all night. So Joshua, I don't know how do you say it, Joshua?
Joshua,
is the truck planning to race again this year? Do you know that or no?
We'd love to race it again this year.
Yeah.
Toby's got commitments with KTM, Red Bull and KTM, throughout the remainder of the year. So most likely not. And we encountered this engine temperature problem, which we already know what it is just by looking at the data and all that from the Motec system.
Yeah, you want to fix that and get the truck ready to go for next time.
Yeah, the engine is out on the floor, and he's actually getting ready to ship it back over here to the United States. But at the same time, Toby has commitments with, Red Bull KTM.
Yeah, but that's still like when you say that, like, again, you're making it sound like it's easy, but that's a drawn out process. You got to ship it over here, you got to have it worked on, you got to have it done, you got to ship it back over there, and now there's probably going to be maybe a duplicate engine made or whatever all these things are that come into the pipeline. So it's not an easy thing to have. So maybe it's a good thing that he's got a little bit of commitments that he has to do so the program can work itself out.
Correct. Yeah. No, it's it's a big feat. It really is to ship that stuff back and forth. It's not like taking it across the street. You know what I mean?
You got a box for that, right? You just keep it around.
Yeah, and
side by side parts, you can just ship them in a cooler, a Coleman cooler.
Yeah,
that's what most people do.
Perfect.
It works out pretty good.
But like I say, the Red Bull KTM side of things is the trophy truck is just a hobby for now. That the Red Bull KTM, that's the business. You know what I mean? And that's what he does. And
Sure. Awesome.
That's where he's got to put all his eggs into the basket. And he'll be going to Europe, I think, the end of July. And he'll be there through Dakar Rally, which is January.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so he'll be gone 5 months.
That's nuts, dude. Could you imagine being away from your house for 5 months?
Yeah,
Well, Joe maybe, but
I was gone for 2 months this last time around, and
drive you crazy.
thank God for FaceTime, but it ain't. It
It's
was
not-
tough, man. It was
Especially with the kids, right?
it was a tearjerker when I got home and saw him at the airport. You
I'll
know what I
bet.
mean? It's just, God, you don't realize how much you miss him. And
Totally.
fortunately, my wife, Jasani, and the kids have my back 110%.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? And
Yep.
they just, it's.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Yesenia though, because she's so good at being a content manager now. I was like thinking like, Joe. All right, so Joe's already using her for being content. Maybe she could spare a little bit of time and she could be the content manager for the Dirt Life. Like hook me up.
She's
doing a good
awesome.
job.
She really is. She once she puts her head into something, it's 110%. And it's like, hey, you got to back off, babe, just a little bit. You know what I mean? Because she'd be posting shit every hour. You know what I mean?
Look who's talking right here.
Right.
But no, she's great.
All right, so we're gonna wind down the show a little bit here. Case, I don't know if you know, but I did some more rapid fire Q&A questions. I don't know if you've heard them or not. But before we get into the rapid fire Q&A, since you haven't been on the show in a while, what's like the newest stuff in your life?
Just trying to heal.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the
Get
biggest
better?
thing for me. Yeah, just taking a little time to get this knee healed up, and that's it, really.
Right on. Well, I'm glad that you're healing up.
Spending time at home with the kids a lot more because I'm forced to, and actually I realize it's not that I wasn't because I didn't want to. It's work. It's trying to this, that, and the other. And,
The whole thing.
The whole thing. And, yeah, being stuck at home, and my employer is letting me work from home, which is awesome, part-time. So just having all kinds of time with my wife and kids. And
That's probably actually feels pretty good, though,
pretty
sometimes,
awesome,
huh?
yeah. Definitely.
And then, Joe, how's things been going with you and the family and stuff since you got back?
Great. Like I say, it.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
For sure. Good. Like I say, we've got the kids in a summer program, and they've been loving that. They go to it 3-4 days a week, you know what I mean? And I brought back, I mean, fortunately I had some customers call while I was away, and I told them, hey, I'm out of town. I can't help you until this date. I get home on this date, and the phone starts ringing.
There it is. Boom.
So
That's
I've
good.
got a lot of work ahead of me, and it's great. And it's crazy. You over there in Australia right now, it's winter, so I think the highest temperature we would see was maybe 75, maybe 78 degrees.
Yeah, that's kind of
nice.
nice.
And I kind of it's gonna be hot. When I get home, it's gonna be hot.
Well, I was telling Jeff.
You can't psych yourself out that far.
You can't.
I was telling Jeff when we were coming in and loading in all the computer stuff for the show tonight, I was like, dude, it is so effing hot. Like, oh my gosh, man. Like, and he's like, yeah, and plus it's humid. Like, and me just being away in California for what, 8 months now, 6 months, whatever it is. I'm so spoiled.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I'm going to go for a bike ride at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah.
For you.
Exactly.
It's funny here looking at Josh's question here. Was the truck left-hand drive, as it is easier for him to sell at a later date?
Good question.
That's actually not.
That's a very, very, very small part of that.
Right.
But
it comes from
Toby comes over here and races with Jesse Jones and with the McMillans or with Bryce Menzies, and it's all left-handed. And Majority of rally
Correct
drivers
side
is
driving.
all
You mean? I'm just kidding.
is all left-hand sided, and he's just used to driving
Yeah.
a race vehicle on the left-hand side, and that's just what we did, and yeah, like I say, it's over in Australia. A bunch of people are like, whoa, what? Why is it left-hand drive?
Yeah, what's that all about?
Well, it's just what he's used to, and
Yeah, I guess that would stick out over there, wouldn't it?
yeah,
We
yeah,
got to
no,
remember
I
all the
didn't think about it.
all TSCO's fixtures are all left-hand side, so they're just going to build it with all that same stuff.
There is a you'd say a sister truck to Toby's that was built 3 or 4 years ago over there. That is
A TSCO truck?
a right-hand drive.
Oh, so they got fixtures for that too. I didn't know that.
McMagger, yeah, it really nice truck. You know what I mean? And it's your preference.
Oh, John says off-road nationals at ERX this weekend. Yeah, dude, tell us how it is. Maybe send us some pictures and stuff so we can post it on the Dirt Life Show for everybody. You got any questions for Joe? Why he's here? Why we got the band back together, Case?
Yeah, like I'm stuck on. Okay, so biggest off-road race there is down there for the most part.
Yes,
Sounds like.
for sure.
And brand new truck, shake it out, whatever. Don't know if it's going to work, whatever. You still have to qualify.
Yeah.
And then let's not forget that, like, you got to qualify, like, hard. So, like, what I'm thinking is in my mentality of, just with all the, on a way small scale on the RC stuff, like, there's a certain thing you do to make sure, like, I know that if I do this and go full bore, I still have this time to rebuild if I have to. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't really have that, and you're in another country. Like, you don't have your shop or your shed, at your beck and call to rebuild this whole thing if qualifying doesn't go great. Like, I'm stuck on that. I'm just thinking of, like, that's a whole different dynamic. I'm sure he's driving it with that in the back of his mind. I'm sure you're helping him, coaching him with that in the back of your mind. But at the same time, you still want to win. You still want to prove the truck. Like, I don't know. Can you speak to that? I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Because that's not normal, right?
The flexibility and the agility of the people that are doing that, like, that's insane, man.
Yeah, like say the nature of that course, a lot of it has tree line to it, so the dust it's horrible, and it's one line stuff. So yeah, prologue qualifying is the single most important thing there is, to be honest with you. But John Price, Toby's dad, and Toby spent the majority of the beginning of this year building their semi-trailer for all the, there's a rack for shocks.
Oh, sweet.
And there's a rack for the gearbox, and there's, what I mean, and there's vices, and
so everything's lined up.
We went and bought a TIG welder for the semi.
Well, so you could teach Tony how to weld, too.
Yeah.
Allie.
So we just tried to prepare ourselves.
Sure.
You have to prepare yourself for the worst, man. It sucks because, we got an extra rear differential. We got extra brakes. We got extra fuel pump. We got so many extras that you may never use.
But that's not really normal. That's not really normal for desert racing stateside, right? Qualifying.
No,
that's the point. That's the point that I'm saying is such a different dynamic.
Yeah,
like you still got to save the vehicle somewhat. I know you can fix it, and you could. You do whatever you had to do, but that's just like insane to me.
And it's same like you said, even the setup. We
totally.
got our qualifying setup that we run, and
sure,
and it's not real different, but you wouldn't race on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because qualifying is huge. It's just,
right.
Think about the amount of dust one vehicle makes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I say, qualifying it's just key.
I think it brings a whole different dynamic to the event, which I'm way more intrigued about it now. Like I said earlier, it's like our Baja, but like it's different, and it almost seems like you got to do everything right. Mm-hmm. Not that you don't have to do everything right in Baja too, don't get me wrong, but you got to do two different things here. You got to go make it happen in qualifying. Yeah. I know I'm repeating myself 20 times here, but like to me it's still just mind-blowing thinking of that, because that's not what we're used to when we're following desert racing here, you know what I mean? Yeah. So cool.
And like I say, the qualifying here in the States it's also crucial just because of the dust, you know what I mean? And different people have different mindsets, you know what I mean? There's people that want to be out front from the get-go.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then there's there's others that are, that are a mid-pack or like Jesse Jones and I would qualify 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Pretty consecutive, because he wasn't a very good qualifier.
So I am wrong on
But-
that. You do qualify for a stateside desert race.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do qualify over here.
Okay, so I blew
but
that.
No,
It's got a-
not all the time though.
Okay.
But
No,
yeah,
not all the
most of the time.
correct.
Okay.
Um,
So
Well,
same
like
kind
you
of
say,
things that come
there's-
into play.
there's been a couple of occasions riding with Jesse Jones, and even the same thing with John Herder. We wouldn't qualify, up front, but the top 5, 6, 7 guys would just check out and leave this big window of opportunity.
Of no dust?
Of you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
We'd
total.
weasel through a couple people,
Nice.
and then I can remember Jesse Jones and I come out onto the coast on I think it was a Baja 500, and the top 4 guys you couldn't even see dust. I was like, dude, are we on the course?
The same
know what I
course
mean?
as these guys, yeah, because
Yeah.
they're so far ahead.
And Jesse
Took a
said-
wrong turn.
And Jesse looked over at me. He's like, "This is it, boys. This is it." And dude, we caught up to the back of him, and boom, we had him on time all day long.
That's
and we ended up
awesome.
having some mechanical issues. We still ended up 3rd for the race, but
That's awesome.
just it's a game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Unfortunately, Fink isn't much of a game because it's so fast and short.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're doing.
Yeah, what's average speed for the race?
For the Fink race?
Yeah, average speed I think about 85.
Dang.
Yeah, it's
That's moving.
yeah. You're doing
There's no goat
200
trails at the Fink race.
no, 220 kilometers. What's 160 miles in an hour and 39 minutes.
Dang.
Oh, dude, you know what I
Yeah,
just
so
realized?
it's
I'm
getting it.
so pissed that we didn't get good internet because I wanted to ask Toby what his favorite tacos were.
What, like type?
I don't know, just the whole general
Just a
question.
okay.
Like, because I don't even know they tacos exist in Australia, but if he's had them maybe down in Mexico, I don't know, dude.
He would probably say lobster tacos from El Rosario. But,
Really?
Yeah.
He was about those.
He spends a lot of time down there when he races with us because he ends up usually doing the lower portion of the
He's
Bajas.
like, see, I'm going to
I
Rosario.
want the taco side.
But yeah, no, it's yeah, the pressure never really lets off until you know what I mean.
Sure.
And then it's just such a like this one took a while to set in.
I bet.
You
That was
know
the other
what
thing I
mean?
was thinking.
This one took a good couple hours. It's like, you know what,
Yeah.
dude, we find after all the hype and all the champagne and interviews and photos and all that good stuff. Back at the hotel, and you get a shower and then you kind of
What could I do better?
you grab you
Yeah.
grab a Red Bull and then it kind of sets in like, dude, we just won this fucking thing
Yeah.
after trying so hard for so many years.
Is that when you
Let's
start?
go do it again. You know what I mean?
Totally. And are you having flashbacks of that, like staring at that needle too? Or at this
Dude,
point, it's
yeah,
just
it
over. You're
was-
like, that was just part of the show,
No,
or
it
part of
was-
the
The process.
experience. Yeah.
And it was so bad because it was like all the dust is unbearable. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it starts, the temperature starts going crazy. At the same time, the dirt gets wet. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And then I realized
This is when we
Dude,
should
it
be
just-
in it.
it just rained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I look in the mirror and there's not an ounce of dust. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, no.
What was the ambient temperature at the time?
Oh, shoot. It was 70.
Oh, so you're even more pissed at the truck at that
oh,
point.
yeah. No, it was. But I will say, Josh Howells, he was the guy in the Class 1 behind us that was catching us. And when he came into the rearview mirror, he was charging.
I bet.
He was charging.
He also
hard,
knew
and-
everything was perfect for him.
Yep. And, man, we raced for another 15, 20 miles. I mean, full 100% racing. And it is so much fun.
I bet.
So much fun. And he was hanging.
Nice.
He was hanging, and then all of a sudden he was gone. Whether he blew a corner or maybe he just said, we're not going to run with these guys.
This guy's
I don't
insane.
know what it was, but he had our attention because he was not giving up. And like I say, those buggies are twin turbocharged V10, 1,000 horsepower.
Well, and
It's
to
amazing, you know?
Toby's point, like something I keyed into too, like he wasn't really saying it, but I caught it, was that course doesn't get as gnarly. So a buggy's not that really much of a disadvantage.
Well, I
Not
think
at all.
I asked Joe before, like the independent suspension is actually pretty good over there.
Yeah, no, I actually say these are I mean, they're top of the line, Jimco's and Alumacrafts and stuff like cars over there.
Sure.
They're a lot lighter. And like I say, the last 30, 40K of the race was graded. So after everybody's pre-running, it had a little choppy stuff to it, but nothing where a truck would outshine it.
Yeah, and
You know what I
to your
mean?
point, you got hero dirt
Oh, yeah, exactly.
and no dust.
Chocolate
because
cake.
That buggy was like, now's the time.
And he was not letting us go.
He didn't care about his temp.
No, he didn't. But like I say, it was just, and it came down to, I was just like, you know what? I start watching the oil temperature and the pressure, because the Motec system in the trucks. I mean, I can tell you the right front shock temp. I can tell you the left front shock. I can tell you everything.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
So cool.
And like I said, the engine oil temperature was doing what it was. It would come up and it'd go down depending on how hard we were pushing the vehicle. And I said, dude, no. And I told Toby, dude, oil temp is good, and oil pressure is good. Does it feel good? And he's going, yeah, it's great. I said, go.
It's not laying down.
Yep.
Get
Just
her.
go.
Let her eat.
So yeah.
It would have been a little bit more stressful had you had half the race left, though. It would have been like,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like I say, we know what the problem is, and therefore the motor's out and going back to California. And
How did it feel when you were working with the whole team down there? Because, again, this is the show's Dirt Life, right? Like, so we all have fun. We can go over to your shop. We can see you working, have your own tools and stuff like that. Like, how was it with all those guys? Because
it's really good. They're, like I say, man, they're just good people, man. I don't know if it's me or what it is, but or maybe it's all of them. But they're just like, man, they're good friends and family, and they want to help. You know what I mean? And sometimes it gets a little overwhelming because everybody wants to help.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
you're like, no, we're good.
yeah, kind of.
You got enough cooks.
We kind of set a little bit of a ground rules and say, hey, Joe, Nick, and Dutto, and those are the wrenches. You know what I mean? If they need something, yeah, help them out. You know what I mean? But let them do what they need to do, but like I say, everybody's just great, man. Great.
I feel like it's such a good team, man. Such teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, and like I say, the Red Bull had a film crew there with us, and it's just it's crazy. I would spent 2 months down there with them. You know what I mean? And when it was time to go home, I was pumped because I want to go home. I want to go see the kid. I want to go see my wife.
But not because it was such
an
awesome experience.
Yeah,
or wasn't. I mean,
and
of course it was.
It was like happy because I'm going home.
Right.
But on the other side, it was like, dude, I'm gonna miss these guys.
Yeah, can't wait to get back.
Dude, I can only
like,
imagine when Joe gets off the plane and he lands in Australia, like he comes off because he's a big Mexico guy. He's like, hey, Buenos Dias. Oh, wait, I'm in Australia.
Wrong place.
Oops.
It's funny. I'll sneak in some Spanish to Toby every once in a while. And he just looks at me, huh?
What?
But he took me for some Australian Mexican food, and I gotta say, it wasn't
too shabby.
How far off was it?
It was off. It was off, but not real far. It's funny. I had a
Sonoran Bell.
I had a taxi driver.
You send some pictures of it back to Yesenia and see what she says?
Yeah, I did. I had a taxi driver that was from Mexico City.
What?
Oh, really?
And he'd only been there a year and a half. And he did construction stuff, and then he was a taxi driver. He was an Uber driver. And we got to talking, and he's like, I think I'm going to open up my Mexican restaurant.
Genius.
And I was like, dude, do it. He's like, I was like, but you can't get the ingredients here because I've looked.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, but nobody knows the difference. And I'm like, you are Mexican, right on.
Genius.
He'll make his own.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It's perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else you want to talk about, or you want to throw out some rapid fire stuff and hit the road?
Rapid fire.
All right, let's do it. You want to participate, Case? I'll ask you guys, both of them.
Sure.
Both of you guys. All right.
As long as they're new, right?
I don't know. You might have heard some of these before. How about you just pass on the ones you've heard? Joe might have actually had some of these. I'm just going to go, and you guys
just
can
go.
just
We'll both do it.
Serve it up for the people that haven't heard you guys' answers before. Question 1. We'll go Casey, Joe. Question 1. Hard shell or soft shell tacos?
Hard shell, but patty hard shell.
Oh, you're talking about like tacos Dorados?
Like a patty taco. Oh, yeah, I guess that's what it would be.
Yeah, like fried taco.
Yeah, not
Taco Bell hard shell, yeah.
No.
Not a preformed one.
No prefab.
Where are you going, Joe?
Soft.
You're going soft,
I like this to like soft tortilla. Yep.
Dang, dude. Jekyll and Hyde over here. Cholula or Tapatio?
Cholula for sure.
You're going Cholula?
Yeah.
What about you, Case?
Yeah, I gotta.
I ate Tapatio this morning. It was good.
Was it?
Yeah, had it on some good chorizo.
I like Red Devil. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. Chicken or asada?
Carne asada for sure. Yep.
You guys are both going with asada. This one's already Dunes or the river.
Dunes.
Did Dune. I haven't spent much
Except
time
for
at the
right
river.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right this minute.
Yeah,
Got some buddies that are over at Havasu for the Independence Day weekend, and I'm like, wow.
so
That's
jealous.
nice. Yeah.
3-wheeler or quad?
3-wheeler. Come on.
Dude, did you see
Yes.
Best in the Dead? You saw the 350X?
Yes.
There's a guy racing a 350X in the Best in the Dead, Vegas to Reno.
How awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
This guy's gonna be a legend.
my hat's off to him.
How about the awesome
conversions
that I can't remember what the company, but like they're taking a late model KTM or a late model
Yeah, putting
CRF.
2 wheels in the back. Yeah,
So bitchin'.
Yeah, pretty nice.
I don't know. Nothing can beat the old like 200X or 350X.
I
though.
know. This guy's racing Vegas to Reno. I'm like, dude,
That guy's a maniac.
good on you. I'm
Totally.
pumped. Yeah.
That guy's a total maniac.
Think of those-
I mean, who
forks-
wouldn't help him?
Dude, those
You
forks.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those forks are 30+ years old if
Yeah.
you think about it. Hold the shock too.
They
but-
just have springs, no valves.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ferrandis or Roxon?
Oh my gosh. You know my answer.
Yeah.
I like Roxon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
But
Well,
neither one of them are. Well, I guess he's kind of adopted son, isn't he, Roxon?
Yeah, he's totally that. I mean, I could pick the American guys. If you with Tomac or Cincerello, since they're both American and both on Cali's.
Cincerello, even though I think I've got this
AC's
figured
always
out.
been your guy, though.
He is, but I think I have this figured out. He's so tall. He rides the back of the bike. So they got to get the front end soft because he rides the back of the bike.
Oh, you think that's what's it?
I mean, it's easy
Too
to
stiff?
It's easy to
Armchair quarterback.
armchair quarterback, but like stiffen the freaking front end up and
Yeah.
get more arm pump.
I don't
I
know,
don't-
man.
I'm so bummed.
He washes his front end so much, dude. Who are you going with, Tomac or Cincerello?
Tomac's been good. He's been solid for a while. But-
Tomac 2 weeks ago, I fire him
Yeah.
because he's been sitting here.
And the last 2 weeks is like your savior.
Imagine if you're sitting in your normal. I get it. It's not the same as your normal work spot, but if you're Mr. Cubicle working your thing, and all of a sudden you're the man, and they're like, "You've been given garbage for 2 years.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Yeah.
Go get your Yamaha, and we'll see you later."
Yep.
All right, that's my rant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers? Change it up a little bit on you.
Dang, both.
Nah, you got to pick one, dude. You can't pick both.
I'd have to do the pizza rolls.
I've had nuclear
Poppers?
mouth burned too many times on the.
Oh,
pizza
so you're going
rolls.
poppers
I'm
then?
gonna go poppers.
All
Even
right.
though I love them both.
Coffee or tea? That's a boring one. We're skipping. Road bike or mountain bike?
Dang it, dirt.
You're going dirt?
Right now, I just want to ride anything. But
Yeah, I feel you on that.
I said I rode some of those e-assist mountain bikes over in Australia.
They're dope.
Nice.
how is it
So
accepted over there?
nice. Oh, it's huge.
Good,
Mountain bike stuff over there. And,
but I mean the
Australia.
e-bike
Oh,
because there's too many. There's too many purists
I
here
don't-
that
I
are
don't-
like,
I don't know how they're
you know
all
what I
affording
mean.
them, but they are everywhere.
no kidding.
Yeah, I don't know
it's
how
like
they can
dirt bike
afford it. Yeah.
price.
Dude, yeah. I wonder how expensive they are down there. Dude,
Yeah.
so I brought my e-assist mountain bike. It's just an intense taser. It's an entry-level one, and it's
Sweet bike.
talking about well, it's a sweet bike, and especially for me. But it was free. It's entry-level.
Mhm.
$6,000
Still
bucks.
$6,000.
Yeah, I know.
And so we got Jeff Furrier from UPR to get ride it down the street today.
Did he? I bet he could not smile.
Well, yeah, but it took him like 10 feet, and he had it in full boost mode, pedaling as hard as he could. He was like flying like 35 miles an hour down the road.
Nice.
I was like, dude, he's the perfect candidate for an e-bike.
Dude, it makes it so easy to go on a long ride.
Yeah, I agree.
It just, you know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
painless.
right.
Yeah, you could do 30 miles with like no problem.
Yeah, like I said, I just said it on the
Eco or
softest,
something.
the softest setting there was, and all you need is a little assistance on the uphill stuff. You know
The
what I
best
mean?
thing about it, though, is Casey and I talked about this for like an older person, dude like me with a little bit of a not so strong legs. Like, it's the great equalizer, dude.
It
for
is.
sure.
It's super
And that's
cool.
why I'm asking, because maybe over there it's not so gnarly. Like, people have too many platforms and
Yeah.
soapboxes over here. Like the elitist roadies, like, yeah, it's not as good if you have to. That's stupid, because maybe not everybody's a.
I get more of a workout on my e-bike in eco in the like rough dirt terrain than I do on my road bike that has no motor at all.
right.
It's just a little different suffering, but
Sure.
like the workout is still just as hard on the e-bike.
That's what bums me out of why it's got so much controversy. We don't care, right? We're just going out dirt and stuff. We're not messing up trails.
Oh,
it's
dude,
ridiculous.
I-
But
I-
you know what I mean? Like, there's
yeah.
still this whole group of whatever.
I get eye fucked all the time, but I'm just like, dude, just get out of here. Like, it's okay.
It seems like over there in Australia, it's just, dude, if you're out, everyone's a hell
Yeah.
yeah, high fives.
Maybe they haven't found Strava yet.
Exactly. If you think it's bad here in Arizona, do it in Southern California,
I can only
dude.
imagine.
The purists over there, oh my God, it's crazy. Okay, so rant over. Favorite soda?
Coke.
Dr. Pepper.
I'm going Cactus Cooler.
Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull. Joe's favorite soda is Red Bull. If you could have, did you answer this one? If you could have a superpower, what would it be? I don't think either of you answered this one.
No.
If I get superpower, what would it be?
I mean, we're talking any superpower. You know what the most
Teleport.
Dang it! That's the most common one so
Is
far.
it? Oh,
Yeah,
dang
well,
it.
it's like Jumper, like being a jumper.
Yeah, okay.
Have you seen the movie Jumper?
I have.
Yeah, that's the most.
I'm thinking to myself and you, like you're like, okay,
You wouldn't have
I need
to-
to be where to look at what? Boom.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to do a COVID quarantine.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah, but that's cheating then.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. There's too many options. I'm overthinking it.
My
already.
superpower would be to make
Already I'm overthinking
Totally.
superpowers.
to sprinkle fairy dust over the whole earth and to make everybody a good person.
Yeah.
That's never. Yeah, good luck. That's never gonna happen. Well, I already did most memorable race. Favorite flavor of ice cream's out. Dogs and cats. I thought I added a new one in here. Actually, this is a pretty good one since Independence Day. Hot dog or hamburger?
Burger.
What kind of hot dog? Sonoran dog? Done. Sold. Every day of the week.
Nah, we can't do Sonoran dogs on 4th of July though. You
That's
gotta.
true.
Because then you're getting a little
That's not
too.
really American.
Yeah. You gotta get. Yeah, you're probably going hamburger then, huh?
I went full redneck yesterday because that's me, and I had hot dogs in mac and cheese.
Inside mac and cheese?
In mac and cheese.
Whoa, dude.
It was so good.
You better redneckinize.
It was a it was a Nathan's hot dog too.
Really?
So good.
Dang, dude. This is a good one. I don't know if you guys can answer this on camera. Who's your celebrity crush? Got Casey stumped.
My wife.
I was just gonna say, but I didn't want to. If you watched motocross this weekend, Antsy, what's his name?
Who?
Antsy or Antsy. What's his? That's
Oh,
his,
Max
like,
Anstey?
Yes. It's fully perfect. Like he said that. He's like, well, my wife, she's a looker. She's a this. She's that. I'm like, that is the coolest thing ever. Like I show my wife, she's all pumped. But then I didn't want to like regurgitate it.
Yeah.
So you get a pass because you didn't see it this weekend.
Yeah, no,
But that's my
what I'm
answer,
saying.
of course.
All right, I don't got any other new ones. I think these are all old ones. So chips and guacamole or French fries and ranch?
What about French fries and guac?
I don't care for the guac, so I'm gonna have to go with chips.
Yeah. Oh, you mean French fries?
Yeah.
Chips and mayonnaise because you're a world
And
treasure
Coke?
now.
I saw fries and automatically.
Oh
computer
no,
to
he's
chips.
he's Nutella now.
Nutella.
Big Nutella guy.
No.
Have you ever had Nutella with Lay's?
Bananas.
Lay's.
Lay's chips?
Yes.
That sounds pretty insane or
Sweet and
intense.
savory.
Sweet and yeah,
You gotta
it's got
do
some
it.
salt in it.
Uh-huh.
All right, so since we were talking about mountain bikes and we did a little rant on it, next week's guest actually is a phenomenal dude. His name is Eddie King. Eddie used to be an amazing bicycle rider, almost in the days like of us growing up as kids. Like when the Rad movie came out, he was like at the top of the game at that time. Like so, he was the Crew Jones. Like he was the badass, and
Like open face helmet, even.
oh yeah, and he's a downhill mountain bike racer, and unfortunately broke his back, so now he's paralyzed. I got to go riding in Phoenix with him on some trails. I think they were called like Black Mountain or something. It was intense, but he's riding a Canyon e-bike now.
Awesome.
And he's still a massive ambassador for the sport of mountain bikes, the sport of bicycle riding in general. He's a guy doing petitions for getting e-bikes equality, I guess you could say. Like,
There we go. Just
yeah.
talking about it.
So it's perfect that you guys said that because it'll lead into the show well. But he is just an insane, cool individual. Like, he doesn't speak unless he has something good to say, kind of thing. Like, he's one of those guys, and when he has something good to say, it's insane good.
Cool.
So I can't wait to talk with him and get a little bit more insight about the dirt life that we all live on the side outside of this motorsport stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Awesome.
who on the show doesn't have a bicycle? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like whether it's on the road, mountain bike, BMX, whatever it is. So
Yeah, and it's funny. For the longest time, I've been wanting to get a mountain bike for my son and for myself. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
I got trails out the back of my property.
Tons out there, yeah.
And
you got some freaking.
these e-bikes are
You got to remortgage the freaking house though,
I know.
dude. It's
Totally.
insane.
It's $8,000. I'm like, what?
Are the little ones expensive too?
I have not even looked.
Not quite, but yeah. You're like putting it into trophy truck terms. You're like, that's 1/2 of a shock.
Yeah.
1/2.
Yeah, but still, dude, it's going to be awesome to talk with him, man. So I can't wait
cool.
to see what he says. And we're going to do the shot back in California, so it'll be pretty cool to have him out there since he lives in Phoenix. Maybe he'll get to even visit the beach. So we want to say thank you very much to Jeff Furrier and Tim Hawley for letting us have the show here at the shop at UPR. I think we should maybe show this camera angle once, but here's a camera angle of the some of the showroom that they have. They have tons of products. They have helmets, gloves, shoes, obviously suits, pretty much everything that you need. They got neck braces, Hans devices. All kinds of different stuff. I mean, they even got sway bars here.
Yeah, and
Tear-offs.
What's cool about Jeff and Tim both, they're very knowledgeable in the safety of the equipment.
Yeah.
And what you're looking to do, and you can come in and get fitted for a suit, and this isn't quite right. You need to be better here, and they're awesome.
Above and beyond that, like the fire, like 2-layer, 3-layer, like
Right.
what form of racing are you doing? Like everything. What's the legal rules in your organization? Like all that stuff. So definitely want to visit upr.com and check it out. They got tons of good stuff. We tagged them in the last social media post that we did as well. So you can go over there and check those out and follow them on Instagram and stuff like that.
Get fitted for your seat, not like this one for me.
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing.
Need to
is
be a little lower.
Like I say, they got a lot of knowledge in safety for the motorsports and like I say, just seat fitment on how the seat's supposed to be mounted. And
check out these rad seat pads that we've been sitting on all night. So these seat pads are
this is the best part for sure.
Dude, these fit in pretty much any race seat in the UTV that's not a suspension seat.
Yep.
These things are game changer. I mean, these things have been selling like crazy too. So
they've got.
I want one from my office chair.
I know.
After sitting,
dude, they're so good. They're even better than like Tempur-Pedic and stuff. But check them out. And you guys will be able to see them. Let me actually switch the camera angle and show you guys again the pad because I had it on the wrong one. But these things are insane cool. They got like memory foam, the whole deal. There's a harder foam where your butt is. I mean, these things are badass. So upr.com, check it out. Tell them that the Dirt Life sent you because we want to know where you guys are coming from. I really, really appreciate all of our sponsors, man. The guys over at KMC Wheels have been a supporter of the show. EFX Tires has done the same, been supporting the show since day one. The guys over at Shock Therapy, you can use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapist.com or give them a call. Tell them the Dirt Life sent you. We really appreciate everything that they're doing. You can save a whole bunch of money if you go to sponsor deals at dirtlifeshow.com and just click on that link and use the code. The guys over at Zollinger Racing Products, you can use the code DIRTLIFE at ZollingerRacingProducts.com or again, go to the sponsor deals page on the Dirt Life. The guys over at Solderweld, you can use the code DIRTLIFE at solderweld.com. And Josh and all his buddies over at Cryo Heat, they're doing some pretty amazing stuff with the UTVs, just getting them all dialed in. I even heard Max Eddy last week talking about his Polaris Razor and some of the stuff that they used to do, that they're going to do now with the shocks, but they used to do it on the Baja bikes. Mm-hmm. They would do the Cryo Heat friction, I forgot what it is, the micro polishing and the heat treated stuff on the... It's different than the titanium nitrate coating, but they do it on the shocks and the forks, and they took the same valving out and had the treatment done, and they went out there and they were like, dude, what the hell did you guys do to change the shocks or change the suspension?
Who rolled out the velvet?
Yeah, well, not really. He's like,
it probably went soft.
Yeah. It was. He's like, dude, it's like blowing through this stuff like nothing because there's zero resistance on it, and he's like, we couldn't even ride it. Like, it was that much different. They didn't change one thing. They put it back exactly the same. So they had to increase all the valving and get it all dialed in. But it's pretty cool to understand that because that means that there's so much resistance just in the little parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
bushings, O-rings, all that.
Yep.
And in turn, all the resistance is creating heat.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now you don't have any resistance. You have less heat. It's just
So it's cool. It's cool that the motorsports are growing, and to see that that's, I want to call it a simple thing, but that simple scientific thing that's happening with the shocks can make such a big difference. Okay, and then we really appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm sorry we had so many different technical difficulties today. We're going to see if we can maybe sponsor Jeff and get some new internet over here at his building. Maybe we can get our buddy Ray to replumb this whole thing with some fiber optic cables, so that way we can have more shows over here, because it's a fantastic place to have shows. So we really appreciate you guys joining us and dealing with all the internet connection issues. You guys are our lifeblood, so please always slide into our DMs. Come hang out with us at the Dirt Life Show on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you can, and you guys are really making the show grow. We really appreciate the support. You guys are our lifeblood. I say it every time. And, of course, thank you very much to Casey and Joe. You guys made this thing happen. Joe was an integral part of being able to get Toby and Mark on and talk about this stuff, so we really appreciate you guys' support.
Yeah, I know. That's cool. Like you say, the technology and everything has gone, especially in motorsports, it's gone through the roof. You know what I mean? Just like you say, just now talking about the shocks.
Yep.
You know, and just down to every little part, and it's crazy. Just in the desert racing portion of it over the last 10 years, it's just not even.
It's pretty cool to see, though.
It's crazy, and like I say, just learning the telemetry of the whole system and all the electronics in the trucks, and we go do our test run or whatever it is, and open up a laptop and download all the data out of it, and you can look at it on black and white, and you can see exactly what it's doing. And
is there anything in trophy trucks like smart shocks or like buttons that you can press to change the valving or the?
Justin Lofton, they have some stuff in his truck, in his old two-wheel drive Jimco.
You know how they have like the oh shit button or whatever?
Yeah, like the live valve.
Yeah, whatever it's called, yeah.
But I don't know how far that's progressed.
It's so freaking cool though, man.
The big trucks have so much wheel travel that it's hard to try to zero in on that stuff, you know what I mean? But they're getting it's progressive, man.
Joe's going to have a better answer than you, Casey, but like if you had to pick one thing that you would think is going to be like the next thing that happens in off-road, what would you pick?
I'm already going through this in my brain.
Oh, really?
Because I have I'm also an infrared thermographer. So I have a certificate for that or whatever.
What the hell is that?
So it's interpreting the heat transfer of an object and what it's doing for heat.
That's like Bill Nye stuff.
So what I'm already picturing, like you told me you guys are monitoring the shock. Okay, cool. Is it oil? Is it friction? Is there a bushing bound up? If you had a live infrared camera on each shock,
you could pinpoint it?
Because you'll see the heat gradient where it is, where it's starting. I don't know. I just think, I'll bet you F1 uses that for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
looking at brakes and it's nothing special that I do. That's not what I mean. But what I'm saying is, like, as soon as you understand how it transfers and how to read it,
that'd be a massive technology.
You could use that gnarly, like just in looking at, the way you cut gears or the way a bushing is, or the rubber leaning again. You know what I'm saying? Like the possibilities are endless. I just think it's that next evolution of fine tuning. I realize that, like, for off-road, okay, it's going to get muddy or dirty or whatever. Now it's all out the window. But in a perfect situation, remember what he was saying about, for on-road, you're looking for the 10th or the 100th. So, like, everything matters. And, again, it's
there's been off-road that's starting to get like that. Like, some races have been that close.
Yeah, no, that's...
Well, especially if there's laps, I think.
Yep.
Like, if you're doing something multiple times.
Yeah. No, it's...
Where would you think is the future of off-road then, Joe?
I would just have it's all in the electronics.
You think it is?
Yeah, it's crazy. We just to give you an example. Last year for Vegas to Reno, I rode with BJ Baldwin, and we went and did a day's worth of testing with ID Designs and James Lynn Motorsports, and we had the same qualifying loop that we were running, and we were playing with traction control.
So cool.
And
did it blow you away?
It was insane.
Yeah.
Insane. We went, of course, we went way too far with the traction control.
Yeah, well,
we could download data and say, oh, okay, well, this, we screwed up. We'd go back and we kept, and by the end of the day, running the same exact course, same.
No
Dude,
different
I think
suspension, nothing.
Yeah, I think picked up like 7 seconds.
Holy smokes!
So I guess maybe
And,
that's
and the tire wear was noticeably different. It was like, and you didn't really feel it in the car. You didn't feel it riding.
right.
You know what I mean? The only time we would really feel it is when BJ was like, okay, we're going to push. And it seemed like our tires would screw up when we were like really trying.
Is
You
it
know
that
what I
whole
mean?
like slow is fast kind of thing?
Pretty much, you know what I mean?
Gets a little sloppy maybe when
But-
he's pushing that hard.
And he would mention to me that, you know, he just stick it to the floor and he would feel the truck kind of pull back because the traction control was
That's got to be such a weird feeling
working, you know what I mean?
for a seat of the pants guy.
And you go and you download the data and you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
holy shit. Is that much faster from here to here compared to full throttle when you're just spinning the tires?
Yeah.
And, you
And
know
the
what I
data
mean?
didn't lie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The data acquisition is,
Is traction control legal though? Because I thought it wasn't in Best in the Desert.
I don't know now. Like I say, before it wasn't. A bunch of people were trying it. We wouldn't race with traction control. It was only for qualifying.
Dude, could you imagine traction control in a 4-wheel drive? Holy shit, that would be badass.
Yeah, no, it's
At some point, though, doesn't it like get too unobtainable? Like now you're F1. I guess the trophy truck kind of already is. Like what I'm getting at is that if I were an aspiring racer, I'd be like, I'll never get to that level because I don't have a $10 million budget.
well, that's like it's
Or wonder if like a guy like Furrier that's like so into the old school stuff, like if he would be like pissed off because the trucks would be so badass that you don't have to be a good driver to drive it. Like, you know what I mean?
I do.
Like so that there's a whole different like way to look at it, right?
Oh, these new guys, they just stick it to the floor and
Yeah.
turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, these are UTV guys though that we're talking about because these guys are the ones that are gonna enter that class with. So some of them might need the traction control.
Right.
yeah, no,
So
it's like I say, just the
It's technology, though.
yeah,
I agree with
technology
you.
just keeps going and going
Yeah.
and going, and you,
I couldn't agree more.
Yep.
well, you know, like just
Do you consider the
last-
stuff like the cryo heat stuff and the metal treatment stuff? Do you consider that technology too, or you consider that different? Because that's kind of a mechanical
no, it's-
technology, right?
It's definitely technology to a certain point on, you know, depending on the product that you're trying to to treat. You know what I mean? I know.
I don't think you're going to reinvent the platforms. I think you're going to take the proven platforms and with the technology, tweak it all to the perfect. Like you said, with just take that tire, for example. The tire wear was way less because you weren't spinning it. Like, duh.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you can go longer than tires.
Well, so that's where I was going. Like my answer for the same questions is going to be the evolution, because these things are instrumental, but these things are going to happen no matter what we do, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that doesn't, the team has to be a part of that to adjust to what it is. But in my opinion, the future of it is adapting the logistical portion of the races to the growing portion of the team, like what is happening. Because once all that stuff comes to fruition, everything else changes. Your pit strategies change.
Sure.
Where you have tires deposited or
Right.
picked up changes.
Right.
Like fuel strategies change. Everything changes, but that's a human element that is part of the process,
Yeah.
not a technology element.
Sure.
So that part is where everybody's going to have so much trouble catching up, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like you say, it's definitely a game of catching up. Like, see, I never imagined that I'd be sitting at the hotel room at night with a can of Red Bull
Yeah.
on my laptop, looking at data and looking at all of this stuff that we're now
Yeah, instead of
we have the capability to look
Yeah.
at it. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude,
instead of sitting there just jetting a carb.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, or wondering, I wonder what the
Yeah, no
you know,
kidding,
like
right?
you say, if
So it's more
we-
data.
yeah, we had a fuel pump hiccup on us, and it automatically just the system's so smart that it automatically just bam changed over to the second fuel pump. We had no idea.
How cool is that?
We
Yeah,
had
but-
no idea
but
until I
that
was looking at the data.
Redundant fuel pump.
Yeah.
Badass.
But
You
well,
know?
there's redundant fuel pumps, but they're manual too. But that is exactly what I'm talking about, though. Those two examples that Joe just gave, he logistically had to adjust his whole mental capacity to go look at a computer now instead of being adjusting a carburetor.
Yeah, totally.
Now he has to say, okay, well, I don't have to feel the truck lose a fuel pump and switch it over
Right.
with a switch.
Your confidence
Now
that it's
I
gonna
have
do
to
it.
know by looking at the data to be able to understand that I have to communicate back to the team that we've lost the fuel pump, and so now we don't have the redundancy anymore.
Yeah.
Like, so that part of it, in my opinion, the human element is going to be the future.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, Joe's looking at TPS reports.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's just and
Joe's going to get out of the truck. We got second because I didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
and it's same like that particular instance is okay. Well, why did it change? Because it, the fuel pickup jacked up, or because the amperage draw went too high. And you can look at all of that stuff, you know what I mean?
So
and
cool.
You can see all of a sudden fuel pump one, the amperage spiked up, and obviously something pissed it off. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, okay, well, they're, it's just crazy. The technology is going.
Somebody with the
and this is just off road. The formula.
Oh, it's way better.
IndyCar stuff is, dude.
Somebody with the mechanical acumen that you have, though, Joe, it's really cool to see that data because you can put all of that stuff and plug it in together. Like if you're a newbie and you have to learn in that and you don't have any of that background of what it mechanically does with your hands before, it's going to be different for those guys.
So maybe the young guys coming up, if they get with the right old timer and new school,
I'm still pretty old timer.
You know what I mean? They're going to get to that point to where that will be the change.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is that the actual driver pilot is totally more versed in all aspects.
Dude, that reminds me of that whole thing. Like Travis Pastrana, he did a video game contest, and the video game contest guy got to come out and drive a real car. And he wasn't like half bad, but he didn't know a lot of the really important things about driving a car.
Right.
Like he knew the video games, he could go fast and he could control.
Oh, from like iRacing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I've
like
heard that.
And then he got in the car and he was like decent, but then there was some really fundamental things that they didn't know.
Sure.
And so like that's what I hope some of these new guys don't miss. Like if they can get with the old timer and get those things, that's dude.
Yeah, no,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting if you think about the whole thing.
I had the opportunity several years ago I was at Menzies shop there in Vegas, and the Red Bull team was assembling an older Formula car, and it was probably 4 or 5 years old. But
that technology 4 or 5 years ago is still insane.
Dude, it made me feel. They started it and he's running it off a laptop. Not even sitting in the car. You know what I mean? And the exhaust is all Inconel, aircraft material. It just blew me away. It made me feel like
you're way behind the times.
Here we are, dude. We're badass
junkyard
trophy
dog.
truck guys. You know what I mean? Full on junkyard dog. It was just like, wow, this is old technology.
Yeah.
To them.
Kidding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really neat. Really, really neat to see that stuff. But like you say, it's taken some of the driver out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And the old school grit guy that knows, there's something wrong with it. I can feel it.
Counter steer. What?
Yeah.
Traction control does that.
Yeah. I got it taken care of for me. All right, boys, you got anything else before we hit the road?
No, thank you for having us, man.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
appreciate everything that you guys have done for the show. You guys have been big supporters, so it means a lot to me. All right, guys, so like I said, you guys can check us out every week at Monday nights at 5 p.m. Dirt Life Show is always live. You can also check us out on Thursdays, too, because we're now live on Instagram as well, as long as we have a good internet connection, that's for sure. So, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Like I said, feel free to message us anytime. If you got any questions and you're in Southern Arizona and you want to have JTech Motorsports on Instagram?
Yeah, JTech Motorsports, yep.
His wife will be sure to answer.
Yeah.
God knows I do.
Her content game is off the chain. So definitely slide into Joe's DMs, though, because he can help you out if you guys have suspension needs on your car, whatever it is, maybe some maintenance services, whatever. So, man, and obviously it's going to be top-notch, too. So, and like I said, Case, I appreciate it. I hope you heal up. It's good to see you walking around, at least on crutches now. So,
Mm-hmm.
How long of a recovery are they forecasting?
Probably another month or so.
Okay.
before you can put pressure on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So, well, I'm glad that you're doing better. It's not your first
definitely.
broken bone, but
No,
we
not
definitely
even
want it to be
close,
your
but-
last.
It definitely is the worst one because I'm old.
Yeah.
Is that how it works? We all get
No
older.
joke.
All right. Well, we're going to leave you guys on that note. Don't get broken. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next week with Eddie King. Stop by on Thursday. We love you guys. Good night.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.